What? Nothing. It's just casual chats with Cesare. Huh? What do you mean, huh?
What do you mean, huh?
What do you mean? What are you talking about? There's a second link down there. I know you're not computer illiterate, man.
Computer
In the
illiterate.
Discord. How'd you get on the first time? I'm yelling because I can't hear you because I have headphones on.
Huh?
You deserve to be yelled at. That's why I'm yelling at you.
Huh?
How'd you get on the first time? Ask questions and then get mad when I answer them.
Oh, man.
What's the topic for today, Ches?
My breakfast sandwich.
What are you having today?
As brought to you by Cook Street Market. They are a lovely little corner store right next to my studio that has their own little deli, and it's a little liquor store. They have treats and stuff, little market, and they have a little deli in there, and they do breakfast sandwiches. So scrambled eggs, cheese, some cilantro on a brioche bun.
That sounds amazing. Hold on, I wanted to show you.
It is amazing.
About plants. Moving.
Oh, to be on chats with. Yes, those are some amazing looking plants.
Aren't they?
They're so good. Oh, the shitty camera! Yay! All right, whatever, it'll do. Okay, this one is grown all the way across the windowsill in 1 month. So literally, like, you don't need fake ones. You can get real ones, and they will do what you want. Believe in yourself. You're muted.
Is that why you like having so many plants? Because you finally have something in your life that just does what you want.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Just grow, damn it.
Just listen and grow and don't argue with me. Okay, I'm gonna move again.
Take notes.
You don't need to be in my kitchen.
I don't know why, but
what is happening?
Juice are awesome.
Are we?
Oh, hey.
Like, what are we doing?
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream.
What's happening?
What do you mean? What's happening?
Like, what are we doing?
Just casual chats with Cesare.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get you.
You could change your name to your name. Look at you doing laundry with folded clothes over
That's
there.
not mine.
That's not yours. That's okay. I was trying to give you some props there. I mean, the unmade bed made sense, but folded laundry in the basket.
I also stole Joel's desk. I just moved all of his stuff over, like his monitor and everything is still here. I just moved it over enough that I could steal enough of his desk.
Amazing. I love it.
Am I on the right sound? Logitech Gaming. Wait, am I talking through my microphone?
No.
So I'm talking through. Okay.
Oh, the lighting in here is so bad.
All right, what one shot are you running, Vincent? Huh?
What's up?
Ches is going to tell us about
Ches is running a one shot.
Groups are made.
Yeah, he's talking about the archetypes in fantasy.
Well, it's kind of not fantasy, but it's the different when you have parties, because we were talking about before we jumped on the stream and we're doing creating the content. We were just hanging out on stream before the game got canceled. Hey guys, welcome to TRPG Academy, where we
eat ass and play games.
No,
we eat ass and we play games with your butthole too.
No?
We were supposed to be
Nope.
Hey, I like how my name is. We were supposed to behave this time because
we were told by the higher ups.
Oh, that's so casual.
That you're inappropriate. So, we don't want to get
inappropriate. Me?
Yes.
No one's inappropriate here.
I've never been inappropriate
For
a
the
day in my
Twitch
life.
community, we may be a little inappropriate.
When we were, so we're not going to have a game today. There were a couple players that were got stuff they have to do, and we were trying to figure out, do we want to have a stream still? And we started talking about maybe we should just jump on to D&D Beyond and do like a group collaborative character creation. And then we were like, well, why don't we just create a party? And that sparked the conversation of, well, how do you like create a party? Because if you're in a session 0 and you're trying to figure out like what kind of game you want to play or what kind of characters the party members want to play, there's certain things that if you're wanting to create a good story, so to speak, one that follows similar patterns to those that we see in literature and cinema and theater, there are these certain roles and archetypes that the characters fall into. And they have different names. You see them a lot in cartoons and movies and things like that. One being the 4-man band, where you have 4 main characters, and each one has like a different role in the group. One of the most famous ones being the Ninja Turtles. And with that, you have like your leader, your lancer, which is kind of like the second in command, the smart one, and the muscle.
So out of those 4 Ninja Turtles, can you tell like? So obviously Leonardo's the leader.
False.
No.
Nope.
He
Dante?
said no.
Donatello.
Raphael is the leader.
Leonardo. No, you're
I gotta-
referencing the one fucking song.
I'm
that
just
says-
kidding.
If you referencing the one, like, I don't even. I'm pretty sure it's for like a video game. or
Everyone
something.
knows Michelangelo is the leader.
Yeah, Michael. There you go. Thank you.
100%.
Yeah.
No,
No.
Wait, so it's not the guy?
Splinter.
It's not the teenage
Splinter's the
turtle
leader.
or with the fucking blue?
Blue band. Leonardo is the leader. He's a fighter.
Correct.
Donatello's
Raphael.
the purple.
He's the smarts.
He's the smart. He's artificer. Because remember, he does he does the tech. He does tech. What was the line from the?
I don't know what song you're referencing, but that's correct. He's the smart one.
He does tech.
Raphael is the bronze
barbarian,
the barbarian guy. Yeah, the big strong guy. And Michelangelo,
He's
oddly
just-
enough,
he's
he took the role of like the comic relief or the
But
heart of
he's
the group.
he's just monk.
He's just monk.
He is monk.
Yeah. Yeah.
His fighting style, he if you watch a lot of his, he doesn't knock people out and like put them down. He just keeps tripping them and knocking them over. He's just constantly staggering.
He's
and
constantly
just-
trying to make sure he doesn't spill the pizza.
Yeah, he's just his fighting style is a lot like Jackie Chan's, where it's just like whatever works, get out. I don't want to engage you right now. So you're
Right.
going back, and I'm going to deal with this guy, and then you just keep doing that. While while Raphael is straight up just putting people down.
So if you have a group of 4, that works really well. Kind of designating like who wants to be the big brawny one. Cool. This is the type of character that you're going to bring that has that role filled. In things like Power Rangers and other ones, you incorporate a 5th character. A lot of the times they writers would just automatically be like, that's the girl. So there's literally just like the role that is the chick in
Chick.
a lot of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that character role.
What's that called, babe? When the ladies just add in there and they're like, there's a term for it. Like
There is a term. There's a like
it's
an
the
actual
leg
technical.
from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, it's the leg lamp.
Yeah.
There's
Like,
an
if you
actual like
replace
term
the female
for it.
character with a leg lamp, does their character change?
Right.
Like
do they add
does the
any
plot
additional-
drive forward in the same
Sure.
way? Like hold on, I want to actually get the term for that.
We're looking.
And
it
I was
up.
looking
We're
at
fact-checking.
4-man bands on what is this, TV tropes, because I don't watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I cannot relate, so I'm just like, yes,
Okay.
indeed.
What
And when
do
it
you
got
know?
real- when
Do
the
you know, like,
take got
Princess
real
Bride?
hot. Yeah, so that's what I was
No.
looking at, is like other movies.
Princess
that
Bride is a
applies
4-man
to.
band. Yeah.
Princess
And I thought
Bride
it was
is a
funny
big one.
because
And-
The Hangover
and-
is also one.
That's a good example.
Hangover is a great one. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
female character, where like she's just the plot. There's like
she is the plot. Yeah.
yeah, where it's
Yeah.
like she never does anything that the audience is like, she's awesome. She's just like, oh, we need her to be
Well,
her.
in
She
regards
tries
to like
to, though.
She tries,
Yeah.
but the
She
writers
jumps
never
into
give
the
her
water with
justice.
the
They
eel.
never
She
give
rolls
her
down
her
a hill.
moment. Yeah, they
She
don't
rolls-
give her
she
her
rolls-
moment.
Which is obviously a man rolling down, right? Because you see the
Yeah.
beard in like several series of shots. It's just like, dude, that's a beard.
Yeah,
I
You guys
think
even try.
rolling down a hill is not fair. That was a cliff face that
That
she
was
basically
insane.
rolled
Yeah,
down.
that
Like that
hill was
was
ridiculous.
she on that one. So she went into the like she
So-
was brave. She just didn't drive the plot in any way, really.
Well, that was the thing. They made her likable and they made her, be
Yeah.
self-sufficient, but then they never gave her that moment
Right.
to prove her point. It was always like, oh no, what's happening? Well, thank God we got this guy, and then thank God we got this guy, and it's like she's just there along for the ride rather than pushing it forward.
Well, she's
She was
she's
very
the
much the
trophy.
damsel.
She's
The damsel. Yep.
yeah.
Damsel in distress.
Yeah.
The within party dynamics,
Mhm.
because she's kind of like she's not even really in the party until the very end. She's a plot point that is
Yeah.
to be the group is trying to go and help.
She's the railroad that the DM has put the 4-man party on.
Yep.
If she was in the party, her character dynamic role would be that of like the peacekeeper between the leader and the lancer, because the lancer is there to always support the leader, but always bring a different point of view, or kind of like have an opposing point of view, but still support the leader begrudgingly. It adds a lot of like, if Thor is the leader, Loki is the lancer, still a thorn in his side, but inevitably on the same side in the end. So
like Han
normally
Solo
the
type
chick
thing.
role or the heart character of the group would be the one to kind of like balance out the party like dynamics and be like, no guys, we're all in this together. When it comes to fantasy and just literature in general, that was normally the thing that was just slapped on to the female character. It was Pink Ranger.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Can you think of any instances where the chick role is not the heart role?
Where is not the heart role?
said
In
that-
the up and coming Dungeons and Dragons movie, Honor Among Thieves.
I don't know. The druid still might be that person.
Yeah.
Unless it's going to be the bard. Or not the bard,
You know-
the wizard. Who was the black guy? What's the black guy?
He's an elfin wizard or sorcerer.
Wizard? Was he
Sorcerer, I
something
think.
magic? I was gonna say in the trailer it seemed like they were gonna try to make him the heart, but being just a druid, you kind of get it in the character.
No. I think the druid's gonna have a bit more of the heart, but gosh, I can't believe I'm blanking on her name right now. Michelle Rodriguez.
Mhm.
She's playing the barbarian character, and she's the muscle in the group. So I was stoked to see that. That's the most current one that's going to be coming out that comes to mind.
Shrek, Fiona.
Yeah, she turns out to.
She was never a damsel.
No.
Donkey, I think, really is the heart in that.
Donkey's the heart,
but
yeah.
it's not. That's the thing. It's individual characters. They never really had like a full party, inner party dynamic like team up to where.
Have you seen Shrek 2?
Sir, have you?
Yeah.
The whole end scene where they're riding in on the horse.
Sir?
And they're,
okay,
also on the big cookie.
Fair,
and Puss in Boots is there. And you guys, that whole moment where it's like, you guys go on ahead. I got this.
I forgot about that.
You don't think that was a full party moment?
I forgot about all
Pinocchio
of that.
and the blind mice go in infiltration mode.
Okay. That's
do
just
not
like
remember any of
everybody.
this.
That's more of like a siege. That's Homes Deep. That's Homes Deep. That's not like an individual like group of 4 or 5 characters.
Yeah.
That's all
That's-
of the fairy
You heard it here
characters.
first.
That's like in
Shrek 2,
Letterkenny.
Not a party, siege.
That's like in Letterkenny when everybody goes after that guy that cheats on the sister.
Mm.
What is it? You remember?
Oh,
I don't think
man.
they've seen Letterkenny. Have
You
you guys seen
guys
Letterkenny?
should.
Just Letterkenny in general. Every fucking
Just-
moment of that show.
Shorzy is good too.
Shorzy's so
I haven't
cute.
seen
That's such a good
Shorzy-
show.
anything from Shorzy.
It's
Shorzy's
really
worth it,
good.
man.
It's really good.
It's,
Oh, sorry.
It's actually more heartwarming in Shorzy.
Yeah?
I feel like.
Good.
Like
It's the sexy. I found it. It's the sexy lamp test, and it's asked if the women are not just represented but actually do something with the plot,
Yeah.
and it's built on the Bechdel test.
There it is, the Bechdel test.
Bechdel
Bechdel
test. Right.
Where if
if a movie doesn't have a main female protagonist or any
It's,
females.
no,
It has
that's
to have
where
at least
if they're
2
having a
named women.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have to talk to each other about something besides a man.
Not
Which
a man in the
Right.
conversation.
I'm just gonna
yeah.
say, Resident Evil. Then I'm gonna
Resident Evil.
Resident
That's a
Evil,
solid
a
one.
perfect example of the Bechdel
Yeah.
test.
Tomb Raider. No.
Well, who does she?
Was
She doesn't
there
talk to
another
another woman.
woman
There's
in
no
Tomb
other
Raider?
women in that. Like that, literally in the entire universe, there's no other woman. She's just, she's like
The hit new rendition of Charlie's Angels.
It was
the hit new rendition of Charlie's Angels. Is this the one with Cameron
one-
Diaz,
Yeah,
Drew Barrymore?
And no, it's Kristen
Brand
Stewart.
new.
It was
Just
Kristen
came out.
Stewart and like
Wait,
two
what?
other like young girls.
Really? I did
Wait,
not see
it's
this.
Kristen Stewart, the Twilight girl. Or am I saying
Yeah.
the wrong name?
no, it's Kristen Stewart. You're right.
It's Kristen Stewart.
I
Oh
always
my
get
God.
Kristen Stewart and Kristen Wiig's name mixed up.
Well, they were both in it. Was Kristen Wiig not in it, or am
I
I
thought
just?
Kristen Wiig was in
Or is that the other one?
Oceans movie. The female Oceans movie was the
Ocean's
Kristen
8.
Wiig one. Was it Ocean's 8? I don't remember. They all went out of order. I think it never kept.
Now I have
But,
to.
oh!
Look.
I just thought of like the best 5-man band ever.
Okay, let me hear it.
5 or 4?
5-man band.
Okay.
Land Before Time.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's too sad.
Oh yeah,
That's a good
Pleakley.
one.
Pleakley, my scout. Ooh,
Petrie.
Pe-
The pterodactyl. Petrie.
Petrie. I guess they just
Petrie.
say it. I guess it just sounds different in French.
And then the platypus looking one.
I owned the cassettes,
Duckbill?
but they
Is
were
that
all in
Duckbill?
French. It was
That was
it
Ducky.
Ducky.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
Ducky.
he's.
It's Petrie. When you say it like it's Pete, but they went with a French accent. It's Petrie.
Petrie. That's
So I
right.
was like,
you grew up watching the French.
I had my fucking cassettes, man. I like pulled them in. I'm like, the Land Before Time, baby. Give me those star leaves. Give me those star leaves.
Tree
It
stars.
was Elizabeth Banks.
Dang.
I don't know
Star
how.
leaves because we're translated as tree stars. That's hilarious.
Oh my god! I wonder how much stuff I got.
They
Is her
were
name still
tree
Sarah?
stars, not
Is her
star
name still
leaves.
Sarah.
Sarah,
Star
yeah.
leaves? Sarah Littlefoot.
So Sarah would be the example of the Lancer.
Who was the 5?
Spike.
Oh my god! I forgot Spike.
Spike was the
Like
heart.
you fool.
Spike was the heart. No, Ducky was the heart.
Ducky was the heart.
Ducky was the heart. Pete.
Spike was, I guess you could. Sarah was kind of the muscle, but Spike also was
Spike was a paladin.
his aura of cuteness.
I feel like this
He-
is the best
Well, no,
explanation
he was
for
the one, like,
Dungeons and Dragons.
Whenever there was danger, he was the one
If you
either
don't know
holding
it.
the back or grabbing Ducky and getting out of there. Like he was the one going, "No, I'm
He's
not
like,
letting my
"Nope,
friends go.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
This
The
is not your
reasonable
fight,
one.
little one." But he's just not straight in the head.
So if we were to do a party build on D&D Beyond, that's something that we would take into consideration. If we were like, hey, let's start a game, and it's not just going to be a game of us running around doing whatever. We want to create a story. We want to possibly even create content with it. These are the
How would
types.
we
Who
do it?
wants to fill these roles? Yeah, that's
Okay,
just going to give you space in order to.
How about everybody
go for
go
your
on
guide.
D Beyond, roll a D20, and whoever has the highest D20 will count down. Will get their first roll option.
first roll option?
What the
Yeah,
hell's
or
happening?
they'll pick their. Will be the first one to pick their roll.
He's asking us to participate.
Ooh.
Well, How many
How do you
people are
just
we
roll?
trying to have?
Go on
You
your
have to go to your
profile.
character.
So I'm gonna use your profile, Alex.
I'm
Okay.
also going to use your profile, Alex.
Okay.
I don't think you
What?
can roll on other people's, right?
How do you
know
use-
you can. I just wanted to see
All right,
your
so
roll.
I got a 7. I rolled a
I was
7.
just like, okay.
I'm gonna open up Zio. I'm gonna use Zio's character sheet for this.
Oh my god.
Roll a d20.
Doesn't matter. I rolled it.
I did too.
Did you really? What
Yeah.
the hell? Oh my
Wait,
God.
what happened?
I wrote. It's not in chat. It doesn't count. It's
I
not
got
in
it.
chat. It's
No.
not in chat. It doesn't count.
I got it.
No.
Oh, you got a nat 20. All right.
You got proof. Well, Ches, what's your intelligence modifier?
Zio's is +2.
No, what's your intelligence modifier?
Oh, I think when I did like the D&D, find out what your character
There's
level,
one of those.
whatever it is. I think my intelligence was like a 13 or 14. So
Oh yeah, he beats me. He goes first.
plus 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'm a 0. I'm baseline.
Yeah, I got that creepy little guy with the tentacles again. I
So
don't think that mine works.
Creepy guy with the
Wait, what?
tentacles.
What are you watching?
What?
It's every time I try to roll, I get like a hold on, I'll tell you what it says.
Oh, where
Oh,
The
it's
beholder has appeared and ruined everything.
creepy guy with the tentacle.
Pull yourself together. You're making
The
us look
number
bad.
one bad guy for D&D.
The number
Yeah.
one baddie.
All right, so I'll roll. You want me to roll for you?
I don't think they're the number ones. It's not beholders and
All right, so you got an 18.
buildings. It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Shut up.
So Ches and Nick first. So I'm last.
Well, so
Ches, Nick, Alex, then me. So
So
pick
we'll
your
do our-
rolls.
So we're
gonna do
going
a
off of
four-man
the
band?
Four-man band.
Okay.
well, that's the
Four-man
thing.
So
band.
Each
can you give us a
character-
rundown of the four-man band again? Hero,
Well, that's
Lancer.
the thing. There's a
Heart.
lot of roles.
Yeah.
But usually a character will be multiple roles. Like
Right.
you
They
take
can be, yeah.
Pike. Pike is the healer, but she's also the
She's
heart.
also the heart.
But then you take other, like Ninja Turtles.
But I
you
feel
got
like
the monk is
healer
the heart.
isn't necessarily like a defined archetype within that fantasy trope, right?
No, a healer is like
Well,
a
the
job.
caregiver, the
Mhm.
caregiver,
Yeah.
the
rave mom.
designated driver.
Yeah, you could be the healer and the lancer.
Yeah.
So wait, the
the-
Lancer is the one that
I
It's
guess,
like
yeah,
second-
you're right.
contradicts.
That
Wait,
kind of like is always
Running
the
opposite.
best friend of the leader of the group.
but I'm sorry, you said before you were saying that the Lancer kind of contradicts what the leader's saying. Like,
Yeah, they'll have different
Oh, we don't-
opinions, and they
So
might
he's like
want to
Chucky
go
to
about
Tommy.
things differently. It's
Well,
like
like-
Chucky to Tommy. Yeah.
Chucky to
Well,
Tommy. Okay.
consider people like ECG or
FCG.
FCG.
God, I always
Oh,
get
she
that
doesn't
wrong.
watch a Critical Role though.
Oh, he's cleric or bard,
Cleric.
Cleric.
but most of his healing spells aren't actually healing spells. They're like damage negation,
Right.
and a lot of the stuff he does isn't actually like healing people; it's negating damage, and
Yeah.
that still follows that. Like I would still consider that part of the healing caregiver role. And so, like, I don't feel like you necessarily have to be able to repair or heal people to be the caregiver. Just
Right.
being able to stabilize people.
The character roles and the party like jobs or professions
Yeah.
don't have to necessarily be the same or line up in that sense. The
Fair.
barbarian could be the heart.
Mhm.
They could be the big brawly fighter that loses their temper, but the reason they lose their temper is when somebody hurts their friend.
Like
And-
Hagrid.
Hagrid's the heart. You don't want to mess with Hagrid.
Mm.
Just on the he could literally pop your head like a blueberry.
Mhm.
So if
Okay.
you're looking at the different roles as compared to the different like classes or subclasses, they can be all over the place. They're not going to necessarily fall into that.
I was
That's
thinking-
just more designing and directing how you're going to role play your character.
Well, I was thinking more like, can the leader be a heart? Has there been an example of a leader who has
Captain
been,
America.
Aragorn.
Aragorn.
Yeah,
Aragorn. Yeah.
yeah,
Who else would be the heart in that?
yeah.
group?
No one else is the heart.
Like
Samwise.
Samwise.
Well, Samwise is
Yeah,
only
but
the
they're not
heart
in the
for
group.
one person.
And
Samwise
he's also not in the
literally-
group.
He's only connected to one person. He only has one
Yeah.
person the entire
And
time.
he's there.
there.
He's with
like
that
the
group for like
technical heart.
25
Lord
minutes.
of the Rings is one of those like special like case studies because it goes through so many phases of party types, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you see each
You
member
go
within
from like a
different group.
12 member.
Can you do the case
overall
study really
party.
quickly and give us a thesis, explain everything? Give us like a 25-minute explanation on that.
You have a PowerPoint you can get
Yeah.
ready.
Where's your PowerPoint?
You're so unprepared, Chaz. This is
Get my
called
picture in
Catherine
picture.
Cesare.
Shit, get my
I
picture.
can't believe
picture
we
up.
screamed this.
Um,
God.
So with Lord of the Rings, you have your big group party, right? Where it within the first movie it splits up into multiple groups, and so
Yeah.
you kind of have these different things going off. Most of the time, a lot of the hobbits are together, and when they're together, they're a four-man band: Frodo, Samwise, Merry, and Pippin.
And in that group, Samwise is obviously the heart.
And then you have Gandalf coming in, so
So are
he
we saying
fills
that
that
Frodo's the
fifth
leader,
role.
though?
For the group of hobbits, yeah. Because it's his quest. It's his hero's
That's
adventure.
true.
With hobbits, I literally give every role to Sam, and everyone else is an NPC.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
100%.
Sam is the
Only-
hero,
only
obviously.
Sam.
Literally,
Sam's
it's
the
just like
leader.
Sam is the lancer, is the hero, he's the healer, he's the chef. Like-
One of our buddies here says Brave Little Toaster
Oh my gosh, we gotta analyze Brave Little Toaster.
and Planeteers. I've never seen
Yes,
Planeteers.
go analyze.
Yeah, I've never seen Planeteers, so
I haven't either.
You said Planeteers, and all I could see was Treasure Planet, and I can't
Right.
think of anything else.
So you
now.
said Planeteers, and I'm like, Captain Planet, he's our hero, gonna take pollution
Treasure
down to
Planet, I feel like
zero.
is a DM run game for one person, right? It's like a
yeah.
one-on-one D&D.
Kinda,
session.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Treasure Planet is a one person party.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
within that, there's the captain, and then there's the crew.
Oh
and
yeah,
they
but
have
that's
all
the
these
DM
other-
creating a rich
scientists.
world for his player, right?
The
To interact
robot,
with.
but I think those are all still NPCs that
Right.
are picked up along the way and then provide some.
You're given
things that-
sidekicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, so-
the DM felt bad that the kid was playing by himself, so he was like, "I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of friends in game."
Come on in. It's fine.
Yeah.
Or it's the DM and is making his girlfriend play D&D with him.
Oh no.
And he's
Trust
like,
me,
all right,
there's-
here's the
there's gonna be a
world. Here's
funny
what you're going to
robot.
do. Yeah, I know you
It's-
like going into outer space, so we're going to go into outer space.
It's not quite Will Ferrell from Robots, but it's close. It's close.
It's close.
Oh, sorry, Robin Williams. I sound Will Ferrell. What
Robin
the fuck?
Williams.
Robin Williams.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So, Ches, which
Yeah.
role would you play?
I enjoy being a lancer because as a player,
Mm-hmm.
if I don't want to be making a lot of choices in game,
Uh-huh.
like I don't want to be the leader role because I don't want because
That's funny, though, because you, in our Debtor's Gambit game, you got shunted into the leader role almost immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you were angling for Lancer the entire time.
Yeah, primarily because I like as a player, because I've only been playing for a couple of years now, and I still tend to put myself in the mindset of like always trying to be a learner and like learn from the games, but also the people that I'm playing with. So I like to follow other people's leads, and it's just one of the fun things with improv. If with saying yes to other people's things versus you coming up with a lot of the things as a leader role, a lot of people look to you for the answer, and sometimes I'm looking into D&D Beyond trying to figure out what the mechanic is to allow me to do some shenanigans and silliness, you know? So I'll not necessarily come up with the ideas for where we should be going, what we should be doing as like the leader role would be. So I enjoy as a player having somebody else come up with ideas and me either like saying that's a great idea, or if it seems like it would be more interesting and my character is a bit more chaotic or mischievous, that coming up with something as a counterpoint or as a prank or something that I just think will push another character's buttons or an NPC's buttons, something that's going to create some sense of drama.
So
I
would you say
enjoy.
would you say Jin is your Lancer?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so why did you hesitate?
Well, no, because I was thinking of like if Helona would have been that, or not Helona, if Medi would have been that.
But I felt like Medi went along with the majority of your ideas, you know?
Yeah.
And it was with Medi's support that you
could have
became the
definitely
captain.
been the smart one.
Yeah. Well, she was. She had 20
Medi's
intelligence.
intelligence was insane. So
Yeah.
that would have, Medi would have been definitely the intelligence one, not behind the scenes, but somebody who is definitely going to be more apt to the creation of the plans.
Mhm.
You know, they're going to be the one that the leader will look to for things of that nature. But yeah, for Omni being the leader of the group, and it was really fun because Omni in their story, they didn't even necessarily want that position either. They just wanted freedom and control over their own life. But because the circumstance of them then getting the ship and, you know, becoming captain, and like all of a sudden them as a character and me as a player, we both have to figure out. So it was really easy to like step into that uncomfort of still like wanting to ask questions of what we think we should do, but needing to try and portray the look and role of confidence and surefire, like, this is what's happening, like, you should put your faith and trust in me, like, I as your captain have your best interests in mind and heart, you know. So having kind of like that lack of confidence as a player stepping into the leader character role, it worked out well because my character was also having that issue. So it was something that it was easy to work on as a person and for my character to work on and grow as well, which is kind of interesting because now we're all going to be in that particular campaign. We're all going to be stepping into a potentially a realm that all of us are unsure of, that we're all unaware of because we're no longer in the world that we know. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, is this plot wise a great moment for Omni to just like fully step into, we're all figuring it out, you know, we're all figuring it out, but because we have faith in this crew and this group of people, we know we're going to get through and survive. Like, it's going to be an interesting shift, I think, that we're going to have just with all of our characters when we no longer have the threats in the story that we've had so far, and we all just all of a sudden have to focus on one particular task, whether it's getting back to our realm or whatever issues our characters might come across now that we're, I don't even know, maybe floating in the astral sea. Maybe we're going to go through like a spelljammer type of situation. I don't know what Jason's plans are, but
All right, so
yeah,
long story short,
I enjoy the Lancer. I enjoy being a Lancer. Yeah, it's a fun
Lil
one.
Dick Nick.
Oh,
What role are you
gosh.
taking up?
See, I don't know, because when I make characters, I roll dice.
Right.
I grab a D12, I assign every number to a class, or roll the dice, and then I assign every race to a number, and I roll the dice. So I've tried to pick like characters that are everything, but for some reason, my characters always tend to default to the heart / comedic relief.
I was gonna say you just play
scapegoat.
you.
I
You
just
play
always
you in
end
real
up
life.
just being the one who's like, no, guys, maybe this is a bad idea. Because in real life, I'm like, this is stupid. What the fuck? Why would we be doing this thing as a party? This is a dumb idea. And so I tend to go towards heart, but I've made characters to try to be like the brute, or to try to be, you know, the one who is more like intellectual or like smart. And I just always end up back to heart. So I think there's no avoiding that. I just
Gotta
always
challenge
end up being
yourself.
the
You gotta
glue.
do something different.
That was the thing. Ithcal, I tried making to be a Lancer, but as we kept playing, it was like, it's the rookie, this guy. Yeah, this guy. All right, well, we'll go with the newbie. And I'm like, I guess I'm the new guy. Here we go. Like, people keep making jokes, and then
But that's also the thing. This game has for Vice, for New Greyhawk, it has gone through so many different characters. We don't have defined roles.
Yeah.
We just came up with our own backstories. Mine and Brandon's being actually connected and linked because we had that idea as being at the same monastery, and having that connection between us. So for our duo, Brandon's the leader and my character is the Lancer. But within our whole group, our party, we don't have these defined roles, which is why most of the time we're going through chaos, because we're just being ourselves in our characters' situations, versus like assigning our characters these actual designated roles of, this is how they act, this is how they would respond, this is their concern, these are their fears. Like, there's a whole bunch that goes into that that character creation and development that we just never talked about when we created this game. And then new people came in, other people left. So we really are a collective of just random people that are on this police force trying to figure it out, which is kind of intriguing and fun, because you never know what's going to happen or who's going to say something that's going to throw things off in a weird manner.
Well, I think
Sorry, but I also think that a lot of it is like the roles that people are putting each other into too, because you're being put as the rookie. You didn't decide to do that. You didn't decide to act like that.
Well, I was like, I'm new to the force, and I'm trying to get into your crew. And everyone was like, oh, you're new. Okay. It's like, well, I was in the military for 3 years, and I went through, you know, I've been a police officer for a bit.
Yeah, you're
It's
experienced.
Like, you're the new guy.
No. You're just joining Team Strike.
Yeah, I'm new guy. It doesn't matter what I did beforehand. Day one strike. So
but I I also feel like with Leah too is like the reason that I made her where she's literally just an actuary, she has no battle experience, she has nothing, is because I personally don't have any battle experience in D&D. So I'm like, how am I gonna?
No. Don't say in D&D. Just be like, I personally have
You
no
don't have
battle
battle
You don't
experience.
know that. You don't know that.
Listen, D&D. She
You
doesn't
don't
know
know
the
my
game
life.
mechanics.
Specifically
of war.
D&D.
She only beats me in the spots where you can't see my bruises.
Smart. That's a good call.
Man, you
That's
got
how
to
you
take
do it.
uncanny dodge.
Yep.
I'm not a rogue. If you see me, I'm a brute.
There, Bruya.
So I felt like
Ranger.
I started playing it that way so I could ask those questions and it would make sense that my character was asking those questions. So
Yeah.
because she wouldn't know, she's just she's an accountant. So
Art
but then
imitating
it
life
started
imitating art.
exactly. But then it became like every time a character went absent, I sent them to go do paperwork. So now it's becoming of just like I'm this like I wanted to play her as like bureaucratic, but more in like a nationalistic type of way. Like, oh, I love the country. Everything should run perfectly. But now it's coming of like I'm an evil bureaucratic.
You're
like,
the paper pusher that is like assigned to our group.
I want to make things harder for everyone, and so now that's the direction that I'm starting to play my character. Is like. Well, I guess that's becoming a Lancer. It's just like, oh,
you're just
do
the
it this
desk.
way, or yeah.
You're gonna age to the desk lady from Monsters Inc.
That's exactly yeah. So we were talking about everything everywhere all at once, and that the one
Watching. Always watching.
That's literally that's what my character is starting to become. So I think that it's you adapt to what other people are doing around you and what their expectation is of you around you. Like I had a completely different idea and now it's becoming like literally what was her name from Monsters Inc? Oh my god, this is gonna
001.
She was one, she was one. But so that's kind of interesting too. It's like you just work, you're like, okay, I guess this is what
was it Yzma?
No,
that's
Yzma
my new group. That's new group. That's new group.
I want to say Blanche, but
I want to say Marge or something
Marge.
close to Marge.
Did we just name multiple?
Our viewers are killing us right now.
Chat, if you know, let us know.
Roz. So now
You're close with Marge. Roz.
Oh, no.
I feel like Marge is close. Don't.
Roz.
Yeah, if you say it stupid enough, it does sound the same.
Yeah, if you manipulate the vowel sound enough, you can blend it together.
Yeah, there was a big switch for Ithcal. Like when shit started, when he realized how bad things were going, like I was trying to make him to be like, I'm looking out for everyone else. And once he realized everything he was trying to look out for was garbage, he went, I'm getting the people I care about out, and then I'm watching out for myself. And so he stopped, like, there was a point when, like, I think it happened before he died and got put back to life. I think it was, like, probably with the Rave and with the Chief, where I was just like, nah, this shit.
Oh, the Chief. Yeah.
I was like, this shit's fucked. I'm getting my family out, and then I'm handling this. And I think from then on, it was just like, nah, I'm making myself more powerful so I can handle things. And there was just, like, this point where
when
it's like
Ithcal story arc goes from being the heart to the villain.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the fucking
I liked it though. I thought it was really smart and it was realistic on how someone would deal with trauma and being pushed to the limit. Like if you would have just stayed cool and collected the entire time, I don't think that would have been realistic for your character. Like it made sense that you were being pushed to the limit.
Well, I mean, this man had like Dervil came out of the shadows and just like, yeah, I killed your wife. Now your kids are mine.
So traumatizing.
Yeah, no, but like even there, like even when we were sitting down and I was invisible listening, like I got information. Ithcal was just like, we're way over our head. It's so much deeper. We need to leave now. And I think it was the fact that everyone else is like, this guy's crazy. Relax, dude. Come on. You don't know anything.
Burped into the ethereal plane.
Yeah, and it was just like, we gotta go. And Ithcal was like, I know something. I need you to trust me. No one listened. And I think that was just like, all right, well, I'm handling it myself. We're done. Let's go. I'm doing things. And I just went out and was like,
but that's
no one else is here for me. Yeah, and that's
just the shift, though. That's one of the inter-party tensions and dynamics that gets other characters, not the players, but other characters to be like, okay, so He's more than just the new guy. Did you see him just stab the police chief?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we got to pay attention to what's going
I
on.
need to
here.
watch him. He might be, yeah. Or I'm playing. I just started a new campaign with some friends of mine, and I'm like cursed. Like some powerful wizard is talking to me, and can possess me, but I'm not aware of when he's possessing me. So like the guy has talked to my party, but he has not talked to me. So I don't have any clue what the mission, why we're doing anything, who this person they're talking to, and so like. All he's seen is everyone getting mad at me or the other guy possessing me for being rude, for telling them, forcing them to do stuff. And so like when my character gets back, everyone's just like scowling at me, holding me up by the shirt. And like, so it's like this I'm playing a young 17-year-old. So like this little kid is being bullied for no reason to him. And I think it's like, I wanted to make him like nice friend, young kind of help guy. But I think it's like, the way that's headed, like you're gonna have to switch at one point and realize your character wouldn't still be the heart anymore.
So, but as a player, you have to think as your character, what is their reason for sticking around?
Yeah.
Why would they endure that? Why would they continue to stay with this party? Like they have to have a good enough reason.
Well,
is
so
it
that's
because somebody that they really trust is part of the party and they know that they're having these memory gaps, so they stick with the person that they know in order to like stay safe?
Is the guy who's controlling me or in me, I guess, has an actual super high level demon.
Nick has
and
a guy
it has stopped us from going.
So
back
are you a warlock?
I'm a sorcerer.
So
Gonna
your
be a-
character
gonna
has
be a
no
Sorlock?
idea.
Yeah, well, so like I had a dream, and apparently my character started convulsing and twitching like while the guy was trying to talk to me, and then one of my party members slapped me and woke me up, and I wasn't able to talk to him at all. Like I was like, "Who are you? Why are you trying to talk to me?" Slap. And so I barely have seen this guy.
None of my
party
questions are
probably
answered.
knows his name, knows the plan. And like when I come back to him, I'm like, did I remember any of that? And he's like, no, you don't know any of that. And so all I'm looking at is all my party members surrounding me with weapons drawn. I'm like, whoa, what happened? They're like, you. And I'm just like, wait, I didn't do anything. What are you yelling at me for?
So why do they keep you around?
With that demon that's being controlled by the sorcerer or whatever's powerful guy is talking to me, the demon's not letting us go back. So the demon is now forcing our party to do this thing for him that the guy who's possessed doesn't know about. So the party's upset with me that we're being forced to do this mission and can't get anywhere else, or this demon will just kill us.
And are you playing the heart in this game?
I was going to play the little kid. I was just like...
So the heart.
All my spells are light and dark spells, and spells that make me friends. Like Mage Hand and Invisible Unseen Servant and Minor Illusion and Mirror Image. Like I'm
So
a very
the
like
heart.
not battle. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I wasn't gonna be attached to anyone or connected. Like I was gonna just bail on people in combat. And like I was just gonna be the scared kid who's not really like looking for adventure, but is just stuck in this situation. And because of my abilities. And so he was gonna be like the background guy, but now that he's forced in the front with everyone hating him for a reason he doesn't know, it's like this little kid is being pushed into the deep end. And it's like a character change where it's like we've only played like 2 sessions. And when I was writing this character, I'm like, he's gonna be, nice, he's gonna prank people because he's immature, he's gonna, help what he can, but not really like engage. And now
Sounds
it's
like
gonna
he's
be
the heart.
I guess. I know.
Unless you want to make him really smart, it's an intelligence build?
It's
Or
a
no,
charisma
sorcerer, it's like a
build.
charisma build.
It's
Yeah.
super charisma based, but I'm a big liar and like deceiver. I try Dragonborn or Bloodline Descendant, something like that. There's a subclass where you
Draconic
become
bloodline.
Draconic bloodline, and my character was born in a cult, so they're all bad guys, and I basically fled. So I don't have anyone that I know. Here, there's Cam. You going?
Yes.
Bye. Have fun.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Everyone says hi.
Bonjour. Give me a crepe.
Sounds like you're going to be the heart.
Yeah, well, I don't know anymore. Now I'm just looking at a bunch of people who hate me and don't know why. So I'm probably not going to be the heart. I'm going to be the conflict in the group. So
Well-
even after this,
So you're going
probably
Lancer now.
maybe I might be the Lancelot, where it's like I'm here to help.
But I'm also gonna fuck your wife.
I'm here to fuck your
But also, like, your age, I feel like would have a lot to do with it too, and the fact that you grew up in a cult, your ideas of relationship and of family would be a lot different than other people. So
yeah.
if you were to find people where you're like, yeah, I finally found people who are going to take care of me and love me without being in a cult, and then they turn on you, like, what would that do to a 17-year-old? That would be
So yeah, he's
devastating.
already like super afraid of everything. He's lost in the woods for a year. Finally found like one family that's nice to him. They introduce him to a wizard who kind of takes him under his wing. Finds this town, makes some friends, and then they all suddenly now don't trust him and scowl at him every look. So it's like it's a shift from total heart to immediate like revert anti-Lancer.
almost villain, right?
You're the thing is with that, you're still the heart.
Maybe.
You're still the heart of the group, though, because first off, most people dislike seeing things happen to kids, bad things happen
That's
to kids.
true. Yeah,
So that you sympathy strong in that.
yeah.
in that
They're
regard.
all begrudgingly like we're stuck
Right.
helping him.
But because now there's this tension and this dynamic where everybody's like concerned and literally like pulling weapons on this child, that gives you as a character and as a player the opportunity to be like, well, if I'm the heart character and I'm getting more and more like persecution from the people that I'm supposed to be caring about, is that person as the heart going to be the type that's going to start being more and more evil, or are they just going to like break down and open up and let the floodgates loose and be like, guys, I don't know what's happening, I can't control this, and then they just start losing it, which makes the other characters reassess and maybe like give them an opportunity to come together, and it being like a party healing or like growing moment.
But not necessarily though, because it could be that he opens up, he confesses, he does this whole thing. You don't know that the reaction is going to be like vulnerability. So that could also change the way he goes forward. If everybody's like, I don't give a fuck, like you're still a dick, you're still doing all these things, that could definitely turn him to a different direction.
Well, I think my backstory kind of put me in a corner where it's born in a cult, they're all evil, no one
definitely didn't put you in a corner. If your other players aren't picking up on the leads that you're putting down as like where you're trying to get your character to go, and they're still all just like ganging up and bullying on you, just tell them like, ease off my character, like you're making it difficult for me to do anything in the game by
I like having that conflict. I think all conflict in games, even inner party, as long as they're not trying to murder each other, I feel like once you try to kill fellow party members, you get to the point where it's like it's not worth playing with them. But if you have conflict in the group, I think it's always great. If you have
can have full straight up PvP in game, but you can't necessarily like bully your friends out of playing a character the way they want to play it. And if you want your character to be the heart, they shouldn't do things because that's basically their characters are doing it to their friend, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing is, so far, like the guy comes up and is like, you basically need to do this for me. If not, I'll kill you all with that demon that's looking at you from that shadow over there. You're gonna bring something back. I won't burn down your family if you do, or burn down your town if you do this. Cool. So get moving. And like, so they all basically like this super powerful person is threatening them, and then also he's possessing their friend. And then that friend also is like, they're constantly questioning me. What did he tell you? What do you know? Who is he? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't know. You know, but I don't know they know. So it's like, no one has told Nick anything. Like, no, I don't know I'm possessed.
That's
I
just
don't know
a breakdown in communication with your other players. So that has less to do with your characters and more with the players.
So my character is just blindly being hated on. He doesn't know someone's in him. He just knows this demon is not killing them at the moment.
Micro game.
Yeah, and like it's just like my character physically can't do anything because he knows nothing except everyone's mad at him, and there's apparently some demon that tried talking to me, and I don't know anything. And so it's like this weird tension where it's like someone needs to say something to break the tension, and then we can get back. in agreement, but no one's being that guy that's like, hey, there's a guy inside you, right?
Set them
That's
up.
so realistic,
Freaking have a
though.
conversation with one of them and tell them, hey, we need to like get past this.
Why is
because
everyone always so mad at me? Like, what was up yesterday?
create these
Right.
RP moments, ask a bunch of questions in game, and if they still don't get it after a session, straight up message them and be like, hey, I want to take my character this direction. Somebody tee me up to do so.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that's why the session zeros are important. And if you like have these particular roles, it's less about improv and more about, I know this character would respond in this type of way, and it tees them up to do something that could be cool, or like give them this really cool like spotlight moment. And then once everybody's kind of like doing that and crossing over for each other, and you see it in large streams all the time, a lot in Dimension 20 and very much on Critical Role, where Travis will tee up Sam to do something ridiculous.
Travis is so clutch. Travis is like the ultimate support like role player.
Yep.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And right now, Marisha and Laura are doing a lot of that as well when they're teeing each other up, because their characters have backstory and history together, so they would naturally do that. So it's really cool to have those conversations in your session zero, but also like throughout the rest of your campaign, because one, your character arcs are going to be changing and evolving due to the circumstances that you're going through, as are all of the other players. So if you have 4, 5, 6 people playing together, continually trying to like make sure that those arcs are overlapping.
He's this close to shitting himself.
That backwards tornado.
That was quick.
So I have a question then
Oh, no, what just happened?
from a newbie.
I have a chair now.
Yay!
Oh, nice. That's what that was.
So I have a question from a newbie. I had just assumed that when you played, you tried to play to the most realistic like responses as possible. So like, how would you respond if I was actually an accountant going and having to get assigned? How would I actually respond? But it sounds like you're saying it's not necessarily realism, it's story driving.
Depending on how you want to play.
Yeah, I feel like what is it? It's hard not to remove like that part of your personality that takes over most of the time, and create like different. Every character that you make will have an aspect of yourself in it, regardless, and it will show. Like I try to play Wolfric serious, right? But me as a person, I love pranks.
Yeah, sassy.
I love being sarcastic. I love being sassy. I love hitting people with one-liners.
That Wolfric would like play on Zio was like such having was it Ethelston, the Raven, like go and shit on Zio's like hat or shoulder all the time, like just little things like that.
Like I caught Alona with her mouth open one time with the bird.
Yeah,
it's like eat some spiritual shit.
It was a natural 20 on the aim roll for where it was pooping.
The best thing was that Shannon was sitting right next to me, so she saw it in the dice.
She was
tray.
shitting right next to you?
No. She was sitting right next to me.
Oh, it sounded like you said she was.
Yeah, a little speech impediment.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, but yeah, she saw the dice roll and she was like, "This guy, this fucking goddamn."
Oh man.
I don't know. I miss that original crew, dude. Not the DM, not so much, but like our 4 of us being in a party together. Because I felt like that really did fill out the archetypes.
We hit those roles. We knew. I mean, stepping into it, I didn't know what any of them were.
Yeah, you slid into the party seamlessly almost.
I really took the first. Actually, our friendiversary is coming up this month. Coming into the party, I knew Jason was the barbarian. So I assumed because of his lower intelligence on his stat block that, he already knew what role he was going to be filling. And then figuring out what Helena and Wolfric's thing was, that was really clear as well. There was a struggling power dynamic between who was the leader, which made it really interesting and funny because you would swap between leader and lancer. And it almost became like that in itself was a bit of a game between the two of you. Of like seeing, okay, well, in this ridiculous situation, which one of us is going to take point, as in which one of us as a player is going to have a good idea, And then the other person was like immediately, yeah, sure, we could do that if you want to die. I think we should do it like this, you know? And so it was like that constant back and forth. It made for a very funny, and the flirtation and like romance subtext.
There was no flirtation. There was no romance.
There
was none of that shit.
The subtext.
There was no subtext. There was no subtext. There was no uptext. There was no text.
The characters,
But
not
sex?
the players.
Only between me and Zio.
Between the characters.
I need to leave for a moment. I have to go beat the shit out of him. Excuse me.
No, because Wolfric and Vince individually have zero control over what Shannon and Helona as characters and players are going to do and what their ideas are going to happen. After we had the 8-hour one shot, I was talking with Shannon, and we were like talking about if she was going to DM a one shot, what that would look like if we were all going to be at like level 15 or 18 or something, if it was later down the line in the future with those same characters. And we started talking about what we think our characters' lives would have been like. And I figure after all of that, with Wolfric being gone and then Rumble Belly also bamfing out into a different plane, Zio and Helona were really kind of like, they were the only ones that they had, especially since Zio didn't have his overall, Red Wizard type of thing go down for him. He would have definitely tried to pursue that, and she was saying Helona would have definitely traveled and like tried to help him with that, and that probably would have like developed a strong kinship with them. Zio being a monk, he would have had a timeless body, so he wouldn't have aged at such a rapid rate, and she being half elf has a much longer lifespan in general. They probably would have had, like, whether it was romantic or not, they probably would have had some real strong like kinship and family type of mentality and vibe, and spent many years traveling and living together. And then we also had like the crazy ideas of, on one of their off adventures, something goes wrong, and one of them does eventually end up like fully alone, and like what that could look like for them. And we had these little conversations, and it was kind of fun seeing where we had the ideas of where the characters could go if we had those little spin-offs seasons. But also it's like, if you're looking at a character development from like conception to like character death, where you want the arc of your character to go from. Are they the always afraid of everything, and they're going to overcome that and become the person that is courageous and puts themselves on the line instead of runs away? Like, is that their arc? Cool. So those are the things that they're going to try and do throughout the course of this story that we're creating together. Going back to Alex,
that's why when I ran that 8-hour one shot, I felt like that was so, like, I ran it and you guys played, but I felt like that was a very selfish story of me to tell, but I wanted to tell it, because
it was cathartic. You were having closure for Wolfric, for that character.
Because he started off as neutral evil. I put that as his alignment, right?
Dope.
He was this kid. He was like, no matter what, if it comes down to it, I'm gonna fuck everyone else over, and I'm gonna get ahead. But like,
and then he becomes the one that sacrifices himself.
But Vince, as a person, like in video games, I always feel bad when I make, like, if you play Mass Effect and you choose the Renegade option, I always felt like a piece of shit when I chose Renegade. So I always went Paragon.
In movies, whenever we watch movie tropes and stuff, he really cannot handle a martyr. Like, if there is any martyr scene where someone has to sacrifice himself, it's like, we need to shut the movie off.
We're done.
Like, we cannot watch that. So it's really fascinating.
Why is somebody doing this?
Like, this is ridiculous. I cannot watch them do this.
Did you guys see Love and Thunder, a new Thor movie? Interesting, right? Very different take on a Marvel adventure.
I felt like they were almost two different stories that I liked it. I felt like they were two different stories that were almost forced together. Like, there was this sort of like interesting, like, oh, this is my ex, oh, this is going on. Like, there was that comedy and like awkward, and then there was this really intense villain, and I was like, I really like the villain and I really like the story, but I didn't necessarily like them together. I would have liked to see that villain elsewhere. Yeah, I was like, wow, he's coming in at like 100%. He needs to take it back down.
Christian
Like,
Bale did a great
he
job
did
as
so
Thor.
good. When it first started, I was like, "Is this a Mad Max movie? Like, what are we?" Like,
No.
even the way it looked was different than anything else in the entire. Maybe that was purposeful. Maybe I'm.
It was
Maybe I
definitely
didn't.
intentional. They did a lot with the cinematography, and that is a lot of what like Taika Waititi's style in regards to how he works as. Well, I mean, not only that he writes himself into everything, but the
It's
way
great. Love
the
it.
way that he shoots, and you can look at different parts of his work. Jojo Rabbit was a really good one as far as like the different budgets that he's worked on, and with Free Guy, so much digital effects and VFX going into that. Like almost every single shot in the movie
Oh yeah.
had some form of VFX on it. He very much he broke the Marvel formula and created something new. And if Thor: Love and Thunder wasn't a Thor movie, if it was in its own realm of series, say it was with different characters or
I
whatever,
thought Thor
that
was
would've
already in
really
his own realm.
enjoyed it. As far as like out, no, because Ant-Man
No,
has a lot
Asgard.
of,
I thought Asgard was a different realm.
Asgard doesn't exist anymore.
Oh, you're right.
And Asgard was just a different planet anyway.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They're new Asgard.
New Asgard is on Earth. But I think that from an audience perspective, not a cinematographer breaking down a movie and structure and how it was built, just from a moviegoer's consumer's perspective, I prefer if a series like all of the Thor movies had the same tone from start to finish.
That's kind of the Star Wars sequel issue, right? It's like each of the movies, they did not have a cohesive tone through each of the movies.
That's what happens when you have 3 different directors
say,
with no cohesive.
If you look at the trilogy separately, they're all very similar to each other. If you watch the first scene of what was the first one? Phantom Menace.
Mm-hmm.
Episode
With
1,
yeah, and the last scene of 3, you'd probably be like, you know what, they're the same movie, because they were shot in style very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
if you obviously you look back, the prequels are obviously very like built or made very like in a short span, so they were all very similar. The last movies were just, they had budget, they had whatever, they just wanted to make it look flashy.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the first 6 movies, they had a plan. Everything was written. They knew how the story ended from the moment they began. From the first scene in A New Hope. Well, no, not New Hope. What was the first movie? Is it New Hope or
A New Hope?
New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and then
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I always get Return of the Jedi and then Last Jedi, Force
Return
Awakens.
of the Sith.
Yeah.
All of those are so.
There's a lot of returning.
There's a lot of first,
like,
lasts, and returning.
Yeah.
No matter what scene they started
Obviously
with,
not the last, because
they
they
knew the entire story. And then after 6 and I guess Mandalorian, they really didn't have a plan. So they're just like, what are we gonna do? What do they like? Well, they liked Palpatine. Palpatine's back. They liked big starships, so we'll have the entire universe come in at the end.
That was definitely like too much fan interference.
Well, people were shipping Rey and Kylo for the first 2 movies, so I got an idea. And it's like, really? You had to kill off the one character we liked? Like, we finally started liking Kylo, man.
Like, he had as Ben Solo, he literally had one line. Like, he just said "ow." We never got Ben Solo. We never got actually anything. He just, and I think I actually was thinking about this the other day when I saw the Black Panther trailer, which was so good. The new Black Panther trailer was incredible. But
I got goosebumps thinking about it.
First of all, right? I literally, but Michael B. Jordan was such a wasted character. And I was thinking, I'm like, why can't Disney, or really anybody, why can't they actually do a redemption arc? Not like Loki, where you're still like, I don't know, like, I don't really trust him, he's still out for himself, but one where it's like this character,
the original Predator.
The original Predator.
Hold on, explain that thought. Explain it.
Well, you started the movie not having any idea this is a killing machine, but then at the end you realize he's just a person. scared.
That's not really a redemption story so much as like their true intentions are being shown. I
do
mean, like Michael B.
appreciate the
Jordan's
effort to try
character.
and
No,
make that
no,
spin, though.
I said the original Predator. I meant the first Alien versus Predator. Wait, what was the one with the black girl as the main character who teams up with the Predator? There was a Predator movie or Alien versus Predator movie where they were like one Predator versus like a horde of aliens, and at one
I
point
did not watch any
the
of those.
Predator
movies.
and the human girl like team up and work with each other.
I need to watch this. I
don't
clearly am
remember
missing
her
It
out.
might have not
being
been the
black.
first one. There was like a
is
snow
that the one where
temple?
they go down the ice?
The ice
they
tube.
go-
Yeah. I think pretty sure the
Alien
only,
versus Predator.
Yeah,
I
I
think
there were
it's the
aliens
But
and
there was
Predators.
lots of
That was
them.
Yeah, the first Alien versus Predator. They were like in ice
The-
place.
the ice place. Yeah, I could have sworn
Yeah.
the only human survivor was the black girl.
I don't know.
And then the Predator goes back up into its ship, and the dead body that it had carried of its companion has an alien pop out of its chest at the very end.
I
That
don't
one.
remember that.
No,
That
no,
sounds
no.
awesome.
So
Okay,
there's
hold
an
on.
alien version of a Predator. So the
Yeah.
what is it? The xenophorb or whatever they're
Xenomorph.
called.
Yeah,
Xenomorphs. So those are the human DNA combination with that alien species. So,
So
then
they made a baby.
they're making I don't know if they've actually come out with this movie yet, but they set
was
it up to
Is
they'll
that
make
what's in
a
the Keegan, Mike,
Predator.
and Keegan, Mike, and Peele?
Keegan Michael Peel.
Fucking, I
It's
never.
many
I
people.
Michael
Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan Michael
And
Key,
then
and I always say Peele. I
Jordan
hate it
Peele.
because
Jordan
it's Key and Peele, and that
Yeah, no.
always throws me off. Key and Peele, and then Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan,
Yeah.
Mike, and Peel
new Predator
sounds like a
movie.
breakfast place I would go to.
the new Predator movie.
No, we had that last week. We're not going to Keegan
you
Michael
don't
Key.
Are you
wanna
talking
go to
about
Keegan, Mike, and Peele?
the thing on Hulu?
I could have
Prey?
sworn.
Prey?
Prey.
good.
Was it that? What
Oh,
is
it
it
was
called?
good.
It was
Yeah.
like
Is that a movie or a
star-studded cast. It looked like they
No,
just bought
this
as
is
many
like
faces.
very little known Native American actors.
Yeah, it was.
Is
It
it-
was.
A series or
It was like it's
Just
a
a movie.
prequel of the Predator. So
Yeah.
when it first came to
first came to Earth and
Earth,
Yeah.
natives
and they
were
fucked with the
jacking
Comanches.
it up.
Hold on. I have a point that I want to make because Vincent said I was weird. If I'm not supposed to think that Predator's hot, then why did they pick a hot actor? That's the question. They
No,
picked someone that was like
right.
6'11" and 100% muscle,
Jacked.
and they're like, "Oh, you're not supposed to think he's hot." And I'm like, "I'm sorry. Have you seen the quads on this guy? Like, he's 100. I'm rooting for
Have
him.
you seen the tree trunks on this
Like,
beast?
like, he's got like an 18 pack. Like,
Mhm.
I'm
So
rooting for this guy.
So Alex, who would you pick in the archetype?
so what do we have left? We have smart and we have strength, right?
Yeah, smart, peacemaker, because there's multiple archetypes, right? There's not just the Lancer and the Heart. Well, I guess
the heart
Peacemaker
is
is a
like the
Heart.
peacemaker, yeah.
Yeah. So then
So
there
there's
was
the smart guy,
smarts,
the brawn, and the leader.
well, I would not be leader. I think, like, if I was going to challenge myself, I would probably play Braun, because I don't know how to be
You'd
a
be
strong
Michelle
character.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Be the
but
beastie.
not a terrible human being. Also,
I mean, you're already on domestic violence charges.
You
so-
want to be like the Chewbacca?
yeah, I would definitely, and I think that would just be more to challenge myself and to, because I like
Well, do a brawn
personally.
voice.
Why would I have to
Do-
change my? Why do you have to
Do
be
a brawny
tough?
voice.
Why do you have to have a brawny voice?
What's a tough voice sound like, Vince?
Back off.
My friends call me Pipsqueak.
Oh, that was good. That's good.
Oh
That's
my god! Write that down. Write that down.
Write that down.
So
So,
because my
motherfucker.
first instinct would be to
Very
back out of a
barbarian.
fight. Yeah, would be to back out of a fight or to not engage in a fight or to try and be a peacemaker and not conflict resolved. But it would challenge me to be like, okay, first instinct, go punch this guy in the face.
What,
Like-
why is my dad at Cortland's house?
what?
Is that where?
Cortland
What?
just sent me a picture of my dad chilling on his couch next to Murphy.
Oh,
Tom.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Well, Cortland did mention he wanted to take my actual dad to Korean barbecue while I was gone.
our dad's
Cool.
having so much fun with
Both my dads are having so much fun.
Oh,
That's great.
Just like
So,
that,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
So you want to be the brawn?
I would, yeah, just as more of a
Couple.
challenging mindset, just to say like, okay, first in the battle, first and to protect first sort of thing, because that's something that I would not do personally.
The team lookout, like the shield of the party.
Yeah.
So oddly enough, the heart and the brawn are normally a good combination to go together. The big strong guy who's really sensitive is
Grog.
a fun bit that is played really well. If you think of Disney's animated Mulan, there was the short, stout, angry one. There was the skinny, geeky one, and then there was the big one.
Yeah.
You know,
and then,
that's
another really good example.
And then Po, Mulan is the leader of that band of misfits in the training montage. You know,
right.
But he would be the heart. The skinny, lanky one would probably be like the nerd, the smart one in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then the angry
he
brute
was also
one,
dumb, though.
Lancer. Yeah, no, you got
your Lancer.
Mulan leader. I know their names, and I'm blanking on them.
Ping.
No,
Ping.
Ping was the name. Ping is the fake name.
Yeah.
Right, that's Ping is Mulan. I said Po.
I got
Po.
I got a
That
Ping.
was
I got a friend
Panda.
back. Ping.
I was thinking of
Po. Oh, whatever. Yeah, Lancer and then Brute or Shield.
Wait, so then I don't.
Meet you.
So then is the short little stocky guy, is he the brawn, or is the tall big guy?
He would be the Lancer. He would be the fighter who was like
okay.
would be in command if that guy wasn't in command.
Okay.
He's the
He could be a brawny Lancer. Yeah, and you can have a brawny heart. They were all fighters in a sense because they were all in the military, so they all had some type of, thing. But stereotypically, if they had all right, we got to come up with a plan. Your leader and then your smarts guy are going to be the main two that are contributing to the plan. The dumb brawny one is going to be like, well, where do I fit in? And then the Lancer's going to be like, you fool, if you just look at the map, you could see right here, this is your spot. So you kind of have those, you can build those dynamics into whatever role you're playing as like a barbarian or as a fighter. But from like a mentality point of view, like you were saying, first instinct, they're running in and they're going to be physical. Not, hey, let's talk about this, or let's think of a sneaky way I can slip out into the shadows. Their first reaction, that gut is going to be stepping up and physically being a barrier between me and my friends.
Right.
Or if it's an anger thing, going red and not realizing that they just lost their temper and beat the crap out of somebody. Just depends on how you want to play it.
I think Mulan's a good example of having a party of all one class. They all just took different subclasses or fighting styles.
Mm.
And so
they also would kind of have
Mulan's a good example of like
backgrounds.
They're all trained the same way, but they're all choosing to use that training in slightly different ways.
Yeah, so personality is playing more of a role rather than skill.
Yeah. Whereas, like in most movies and stuff, like they are different classes. You can tell.
Did they make a Mulan too?
Yeah, it was about the princesses. Yeah. That's when I learned about the princess shoof.
And then there was like I distinctly remember this where her and the guy who's the prince's name in that. Why can't I remember anybody's name? They get into a fight and then there's like this rift and it was very upsetting.
It was like the Avatar: The Last Airbender. They had to go on separate sides of the canyon.
Oh my! No, it was horrible. Yeah,
and I remember thinking like, are they getting a divorce?
They're gonna break up.
They can't handle it.
Yeah, you can't leave each other
because of that song. When they complained about having tiny shoes, that's when I learned that they used to force Chinese princesses to wear shoes that are way too small so their feet would deform and they would not be able to walk, forcing them to be carried everywhere.
Right.
Wild.
Well, it was because
I learned that from Mulan too.
They wanted them to have small feet.
They wanted to carry them everywhere.
Because one of the princesses or someone who was
had
very
club foot, right?
Yeah, she was born with a club foot, and so in order to say like, for her, she couldn't not be the standard of beauty. So they were like, this is the new standard of beauty and this is what everyone's going to do. And so they be on their feet.
No, you have to be carried. Why? I have 2 good feet. Not anymore.
You know, I used to think of those
Yeah,
things of
about
like,
that.
wow, it must have been terrible to be a woman at that point. But then I'm like, hey, I got carried everywhere. I would have never had to do
No.
actually
I
anything.
trust me. I won't walk anywhere. I promise. I
Yeah,
promise.
right?
Don't make me
You
wear the
could just
shoes.
carry me if you wanna carry
I'm
me.
okay with that.
I feel like that was a consequence that they didn't think of until after they did like years of the finding feet, and they're like, god damn.
Like I have to.
We
carry
need to
her.
improve our wheelchair technology because
No, what happened was there was a raid on one of the towns that the princesses were on. They're like, we gotta go, and then she was like, well, get the chariot, and they were like, oh, we only have 3 people.
Put
Phil
me in the
died.
Bjorn.
And they're like, well, you're running, and she's like hobbling, trying her best, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we can't do this anymore. This is a bad idea.
Yeah. So don't handicap people.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe,
Just for beauty.
maybe slowing down the important people wasn't the best idea.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you typed in brawn because I would have actually spelled that wrong. I thought it was like brawn, like the brand.
Isn't that how you spell it? Or is it a U in Braun?
I thought it was a U, but I think he's probably right. I think it is probably a W. I thought it was a U,
If you
like the
think
brand,
about
like brawn.
Brawny, the paper towel brand.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Is
Downy.
that a U?
Brawny, the
Brawny's-
Oh,
A-R-A-W-N.
Downy's the
Downy's the
clothes
fabric
detergent.
softener.
Yeah, the fabric
Yeah.
softener.
Yeah.
the fabric soften. Is that the one with the bear?
No, I thought Snuggle was the one with the bear.
Snuggles, the one with
Snuggles
the bear.
the one with the bear.
No,
Guys,
that's the bear that stops forest fires. Come on.
No, that's
Smokey.
Smokey. That's
Jeez.
Yogi
No,
Bear.
We are so we are
No.
so far off
It's
track.
a Yogi Bear.
No, Yogi was the green guy from Star Wars.
Yes. We figured it out. Yo Play
No.
Yogi is the one from
Yo
Star
play
Wars.
Yogi.
Yo Play Yogi is from Star
All right, so what does that leave me with, Ches? I gotta
That
pick
makes
leader.
you the leader.
I don't want to be. The
Oh, look at you. You're the leader.
leader. I've never been the leader.
I've tried, but no one listens to me.
you want to get voted for class president and
All
you
right.
just haven't gotten it.
So, do you guys see a share thing at the bottom of the StreamYard? It says mute, stop cam setting,
Yep,
share.
sure.
Yeah.
So, how about Ches? You go first since you're the Lancer. You
What am I
share
doing?
your Chrome tab of your D&D Beyond interface and show us
Oh.
how you would build a Lancer.
Oh, the heck? Well, I mean, building a Lancer, building a character.
No,
Or
versus
what
building a
character
leader.
type
You gotta
would you
start
make for a
Lancer.
Lancer?
Yeah.
If you're making a whole party, I think you would start with the leader or the heart.
I'm gonna have to go back to
Oh, so
over by you.
maybe we'll
Vincent,
go
'cause I don't
back
know
the
how
other
to
way
do it.
around then. Since I went
Yeah.
last, I'll go first.
Start with you.
Okay.
That's
So
Because I will literally, personally as a player, I will choose a Lancer's fighting style to be
Based.
something that is based off of what the leader is going to be.
I would say the Lancers typically plot either if it's hatred, jealousy, or true like respect. The Lancer always is like a version of the leader. Where it's like,
Okay.
if you look at Land Before
If-
Time, Sarah and Littlefoot kind of handled situations the same way, except Sarah was just a little more aggressive.
She was also very. They put Sarah in the narrow-mindedness trope as well, of like they're stubborn and they're just going to go and do whatever they want regardless of whether or not it's a good idea,
what
Yeah.
are you doing?
and which made a lot of problems, obviously, because she would go off and do her own thing, and then Littlefoot would have to come with the group and like save her and get her out of there, and she would always immediately be like, oh, well, that wasn't my fault, I'm obviously the best, meh. And he's like, okay, well, I guess we'll just keep following you because we got to keep, making sure we're all going to get
We're
through this
okay,
together.
Well,
We're
we're all
trying to get to
following
the
you
new-
because our leader says we need to follow you.
Yeah, we're trying to get to the Great Valley. So,
Oh man, that movie had dude fucking okay. One, that movie gave me a fear of oceans.
of oceans?
Yeah, that whole like bridge crossing scene where they were like walking across the ocean bridge. That might have been a second movie when they
I'm-
meet
I'm like, I don't
when they
think
meet the
that's
T Rexes.
That's in Land Before Time 2
Yeah, also
with Chomper.
with Chomper. I
and
love
the egg
Chomper.
stealers.
And then I shit myself when the mom and dad, or just the mom,
Is that
showed
Vince's
up.
elbow? Are you sitting next to him?
Aww.
Yes,
You don't know
because
how to do-
I don't know
There's,
how to do it.
There's the share thing right there.
right next to Leaf
No, I
Studio.
know how to do that. Listen.
No,
Oh.
she means building.
Yeah,
I
know.
see. Oh, so don't use your mic, babe. Just don't use your mic because it'll cause a thingamajiggy.
You're in the background now. Get
Feedback.
over it. Yeah, or God, we should have really prepped like a list of at least 10 movies that we could have used as examples.
Well, we didn't know, right? It's like all of a
that's-
sudden.
Pick any
too hard.
movie. Call out a movie right now that has group.
Pokemon.
I guess.
There's 3 or 4. No, there's 3 or 4 characters in that, right? You have Ash. You have
Ash,
Brock, Misty.
Brock, Misty. I was gonna go off.
You're
of
gonna throw
Ash's
Pikachu
team.
in there
I was
because
going
Pikachu
to go
makes
off
more
of
of a-
Ash's team. I was gonna say Pikachu,
Pikachu's the heart for sure,
Charizard. Does he still has a Squirtle in the movie, right?
I don't know.
We're like,
I don't know. It's been so long.
Yeah, we're like his team, but they don't have character besides what Ash tells them. I was just saying random movie. Something I've seen. I mean, I guess any heist movie is just a modern D&D party. Avengers, I felt like was overdone. I felt like that was an obvious one.
Obviously. I mean, they literally have the look and design of the characters being their archetype.
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
That's not really a party. That's just a bunch
Okay.
of terrible people.
So let's see here. Standard. And now, are we doing standard array? Let's just do standard array so everybody has
Standard
the same
array.
stead. Okay.
Yeah. Homebrew and
So-
critical role content. Just
Okay.
for-
Homebrew, critical role content, optional class features,
Yeah.
customize your origin. And
Zombie
we'll just do
Annual
fixed health.
HP.
No, we'll just do fix for this one.
Okay. But then, what was the milestone? Yeah, and I never.
Yeah,
used
milestone.
milestone
Because we're not really going to run it.
I mean, that's what you think. You don't know, but we're
Yeah, I don't
creating a
know what
campaign
Jason's plans
right
are.
now.
The
Yeah.
Watchmen.
The Watchmen. Yeah. Oh God, everybody's so over the top with how like crazy and diverse their characters.
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your
Yep.
Dragon.
That's a 4-man band. 4.
Pick
Pick up the chick,
six.
the twins.
Fat guy.
I would count the
bully.
twins as one character.
No, they'd be
Yeah.
like twins in a D&D game where they're both like it'd be like Vex and Vax.
Yeah,
I agree.
but they're not necessarily.
They're independent. When they fight independently. When they ride together, but they still ride like
But
as
as
a tag
part of
team.
like the particular trope that they fill as a whole, they really
Okay,
only fill
I see
one
what you mean. Yeah,
character slot.
Okay,
of-
so
yeah.
let's see. A leader. So give me a camp. Like what kind of setting are we in?
Future.
No futurism. This is D&D.
we could do future fantasy.
Naruto.
We can have technology and fantasy together.
No.
There's grenades in D&D.
Let's do. We'll call it a steampunk campaign. So we have guns.
So
and
Eberron.
South
Eberron.
Park.
Yeah. I
Eberron.
don't know if that's what that is.
I like South Park.
No. Eberron. Okay, so
That 70s show.
what's the reason that we're together?
We are together. I mean, there could be the typical like you're part of a guild, but
Yeah.
that's too easy.
We're in a fraternity together.
Then why are you here?
Oh,
It's a class reunion.
her character is a boy.
It's a class reunion.
Big Hero 6.
Big Hero 6. Oh, great. That's such a.
San Fran, Tokyo.
What was it?
San Fran, Tokyo.
San Fran, Tokyo.
That was the place Big Hero 6 took place.
Oh, okay. I was not sure.
Toy Story 3.
You're still just going to continue to name all of the things that have the different character roles in them.
I thought you were talking about.
If Woody's the
Setting.
leader, that makes Buzz
Yeah.
the Lancer.
They have a conflict multiple times.
You have multiple people filling the heart role, depending
Multiple.
on who's having the
Rex, my
conversation.
boy. But everyone knows the real heart is Slinky.
Slinky's the heart. There are times that Mr. and Mrs. Potato are the heart.
Grease 2.
What to? Greece?
Grease 2.
Grease 2.
It's on the list.
Greasier.
Pitch Perfect 3.
God. So if you're thinking about how do you want your hero to fight, it could be anything. That's what's
And
great.
what level
the
are
hero
we?
can be the rogue. Let's
10.
go 5. That way you
10.
have a subclass.
All right.
10. 10.
5. I'm gonna go inquisitive.
Okay, so you're an intelligence-based.
You're a
build.
leader.
Mm-hmm.
The bench warmers.
Dude, Ocean's 11.
I felt like that was
Danny
too
Ocean
easy.
is your leader, and Brad Pitt's character is the Lancer. You have your person who's literally the demolition guy, the person that's the sneaky one who's
Yeah,
the
flexible
contortionist
guy.
who's
Yeah.
folding up. They all have their one role. The tech guy, the intelligence guy who's patching through the police, calls and hacking the system.
American
Okay.
Pie.
So
Zombievers.
Lineage does not matter. That's just a preference for fun.
Yeah, it is, but
But when building and trying to optimize for a rogue character, certain lineages have advantages. But with custom lineage, you can go and make something that is completely unique and as broken as you want it to be.
yep, I did. I picked an elephant
Damn,
guy.
I was gonna pick that.
Well, too bad. I picked the
Is that Pal or Pi?
pie.
Pi Xiomi?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see.
Roll 'em.
Roll him?
Roll 'em. Damn.
Oh, that's gonna be it.
Wow.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. That's a fantastic roll for.
The Goonies.
Yeah.
Oh, the Goonies for sure.
Yeah, the Goonies is a good one.
The Goonies is a good one.
Fucking great example. Holy shit.
The
Fucking-
Sandlot.
Who was?
The
Oh,
Sandlot's
Sandlot's good too. Who was the tech guy in? Was it Data?
Data.
Data.
Fucking
Star Trek?
No, in Goonies.
Oh.
In Goonies, the little Asian kid who had all like the random
course.
shit, the oil slick.
Yeah.
He was my
Okie dokie, Dr.
favorite.
Jones. It's like short stack. from
Short stack.
Indiana
Round,
Jones.
short round.
Short round.
The
Short round.
Yeah, short
There it
stack,
is.
short round. That was Temple of Doom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he gets kidnapped and put in the mines. Like what?
With all the other.
The
stuff.
heart ripping out of chest scene and then burning
That
in
was
his
just
hand
so funny.
scared the crap out of me. The
It
Last
had to have been
Crusade.
supernatural because there's no
Yeah.
the human hand just slowly pushing and grabbing isn't gonna do that.
No.
Like
Um,
the guy
Last
melting at
Crusade
the end
wasn't
of Last Crusade didn't bother me as much as the heart being pulled and then burning as he was being dipped into lava. I was like,
I
no, please. And what was the third one?
That's like Last Crusade.
It was there was it was a trilogy. It was Last Crusade, Temple
Last
of
Crusade
Doom,
was-
and
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
no, that came way
Raiders of
after.
the Lost Ark was.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
The crystal one was with Sean Connery.
No.
No.
What? No.
Last
The Crystal
Crusade
one was with
was-
Shia LaBeouf.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was. solid.
Oh, that's right, Shia
Was
LaBeouf. What was the one
bad.
with Sean Connery and
Last
Harrison
Crusade.
Ford? That was Last Crusade?
Yeah.
Sean Connery.
All the daddy stuff? Yeah, that was Indy's dad.
Oh my God, that's Sean Connery.
That was Sean Connery.
I just realized that. I didn't know that. Oh my God. Oh, is this an animals only party?
No.
Well, then I want to be. What are the little dragon guys?
Kobold.
Kobolds?
There's also Dragonborn.
Bro,
But little dragons
Dylan.
are kobolds.
Who
Okay,
the
tall
fuck is
dragon.
Bro Dylan?
Dragonborn.
Okay, I'll be dragon.
All right, let's see this leader. What's this leader looking
Our
like?
valiant leader.
All right. So it's a Loxodon rogue.
Yep.
Got 11 strength, 18 dex, 15 con, 14 intelligence, 16 wisdom, and 13 charisma.
Nice.
So in
Advantage on
athletics
investigation and perception.
and survival.
Very nice. High insight too.
Yeah. You know, I feel like he could be a good leader.
And what's his fighting style? He's got a rapier and daggers.
Yeah.
and short bow. Okay.
Stabby.
What kind of personality would he have? Is he going for like a noble and true, always on the side of goodness? What's his leading style?
Probably a lawful good.
Lawful good.
Did we establish how they all met each other? This
No.
echo is fucking with me.
Hearing yourself back.
I can't finish the sentence.
You're cutting yourself off.
I am, because I keep thinking someone else is, I interrupt myself.
So you just take an ear out when you start to speak. That way
There
you
you
can hear
go.
yourself more.
That's a good idea.
There you go. No, let's say that we kind of made the joke that we were in a frat together, but let's say that we each were asked by the mayor of our town. We live in the same town. We were each asked to help one of the elderly in the village, because we're young adventurers. We're only like level 5. One of the elderly in the village, some of their flock is getting picked off. They think by wolves, but they're not sure and they can't handle it themselves. So they asked some of the more capable younger people to go and assist with the elders. We'll call them sheep. Because sheep and wolves, that's a fun moral trope that gets used a lot.
Okay. So that's my leader. All right, that's how I would build a leader. I just feel like rogue is almost the antithesis. Nobody thinks of a rogue as a leader. But that first season of Dimension 20, Fantasy High, they had that goblin character who was a lawful good Inquisitor rogue.
Oh God.
Murph's
He was so
character.
Yeah,
Murph's character.
It started with an R, right?
Rusgak?
Rizgygax?
Rusgak?
Rizgak.
Riz Gutgak.
Gutgax.
Yeah.
Riz Gutgak.
All right. So here,
There it
you can't make yours, right? So you tell me what you want.
We
We'll
go
roll
in
for stats
brawny.
first. We'll roll your stats. You want me to roll them or you want to roll them?
I thought we were doing
You're just
standard array.
clicking. No, Jez wants to roll stats.
Roll them, baby.
Okay.
It's way more fun.
I can't wait to have shit. Great. Oh my God.
Woo!
What the hell?
Mine are gonna be so bad compared to this.
Mine are
All
Ithkal's highest stat is a +2.
All right. So you wanted to be a dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you want to be a regular dragon, a chromatic dragon, a gem dragon, or a metallic dragon?
Whoa. Dragonborn or Dragonkin? Come on. Yeah, it's important.
Dragonborn.
Okay.
Wait, what was the other dragon race? Dragonkin?
There's no other kobolds, but I don't know if there's any other.
There's like
Officially
There's
not
half
in 5e.
dragons.
half dragons.
I thought that was a dragonborn.
Well, it's like there's like Dragonborn don't have
What gem?
tails, but half dragons do.
Half dragons have tails and wings.
Wings, but they both have breath weapons.
You have amethyst, crystal, emerald, sapphire, and topaz. Topaz.
Necrotic damage.
Oh, you gem ancestor, dope.
Alrighty. So for somebody that's brawny, I would recommend a barbarian, a fighter, or a paladin. You can do a strength-based ranger too. But
You could do a strength-based ranger.
You could do a strength-based monk.
Have you ever heard of a strength-based druid?
no,
No.
Oh, neither have I.
Barbarian.
barbarian.
I've done a Dexy Druid build with Valev. That was fun. A Druid Barb.
Oh,
I've never known Cesare not to multi-class.
Ithkal's the first character I've ever multi-classed in.
Okay. So
It makes sense. People
Strength?
aren't one thing.
Highest, yeah.
con, and then I don't know.
Dex and Charisma. You really can't go wrong with mixing any of these up. You're only
Charisma.
Charisma.
Yeah, listen to you. Wisdom.
All right, and then you'll dump int like every other barbarian. Do you want 3 of your scores to be +1, or do you want 1 to be +2 and the other one to be +1?
What do you guys think?
This is all you, girl.
Yeah, this is all you.
We ain't helping you.
Okay, the second option.
This ain't one of those bullshit where you want to go eat moments.
What do you want to be +1?
Huh?
Where do you want the +1?
I can't see that.
So you have Dex that can get bumped up, or you can have Intelligence bumped up,
would
or
make sense, right?
Strength.
you can
or
actually use all of these to make your strength
Dex.
20.
Go Dex. Go Dex. Go Dex. Put one in
You
Dex.
told me not to listen to you.
Basically, you can max out your strength score right now.
Yeah, max it out. Be like crazy strong.
Okay. Go to your class. What do you want your proficiencies in? Animal handling, athletics, intimidation, nature, perception, and survival.
Intimidation.
Intimidation. And what else?
Athletics.
Athletics.
She understands the assignment.
Albuquerque's a fun place.
It helps.
Okay, so primal knowledge. You get another one. Animal handling, nature, perception, and survival.
Survival.
Survival. What primal path do you want to take?
Does
Ooh,
that say
this is
Path
fun.
of Butterfinger? What does that say?
Path of the Battle Rager?
Battle.
Path of the Butterfinger.
Oh, I just realized my characters mean garbage because I don't have any of the books. So I'm only gonna have like 1 or 2 options in each category.
Why don't you create a character in the campaign, in our campaign?
Can I do that? I didn't know
Yeah.
if I was able to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I'm sharing my books with you guys in there.
What's a
Got it. Yeah.
A zealot is somebody like that is a religious zealot,
No,
fanatic,
no.
but it
Battle
gives you
Rager.
battle. Okay, so the problem with Battle Rager is
It's not
it's
Butterfinger.
dwarf specific. It's a dwarf specific training, so you would have to justify how you got that.
Okay, so then wait, never mind.
Okay.
You could be a dragon that was raised by dwarves.
That would be so cute because like
Dwarves were mining, and then they found this chamber of gems, and there was one lone dragon egg that was abandoned, and that they raised as their own. This
See,
dragonborn.
so right here it says restrictions dwarves only.
So I can't do that.
Oh, dwarves.
I am your DM, so I can lift it. So
Your
can
DM
lift this
has
reaction.
discretion.
Because I was raised by dwarves.
Yeah, because you were raised by dwarves. All right, so here you can get a feat or an ability score improvement.
Ability score.
All right, so which score do you want to boost up? So remember, as a barbarian, you want your strength to be as high as it can and your constitution to be as high as it can.
Constitution.
She's looking kind of brawny, guys.
Like, am I brawny?
Yep. Which one do you want to be your portrait?
I can't.
None of these are really topazzy.
The brawniest looking. That one that looks real goofy. Yeah, that one. The real goofy.
Oh,
Wait, what the?
what's your character's name?
Top.
Blue?
Wilson.
Yep.
Ruby foot.
But you're not a ruby dragon.
Yeah, it's a fan thing.
Okay.
It's from
Ruby
Dwarves,
foot.
actually.
It's from the
Languages.
dwarves.
Obviously, you got to speak Dwarvish for one of your
Yeah,
languages.
obviously. I like how
Doesn't even know Draconic.
Yeah. So, like, if just to make it make sense, I would recommend Clan Crafter as a background, because that means you like work with the Dwarvish clans on like making goods, like weapons, or you're like a jeweler, stuff like that.
Yeah.
An artisan of types.
An artisan types, yeah, but specifically with the small peoples. So see, the stout folk are well known for their artisanship and the worth of their handiworks, and you have been trained in their ancient tradition. For years, you labored under a dwarf master of the craft, enduring long hours and dismissive, sour-tempered treatment in order to gain the fine skills you possess today.
That's how the dwarves show their love.
Exactly. You are most likely a dwarf, but not necessarily. Particularly in the north, the Shield dwarf clans learned long ago that only proud fools who are more concerned for their egos than their craft turn away promising apprentices, even those of other races. If you aren't a dwarf, however, you have taken a solemn oath never to take on an apprentice in the craft. It is not for non-dwarves to pass on the skills of Moradin's favorite children. You would have no difficulty, however, finding a dwarf master who is willing to receive potential apprentices who came with your recommendation.
That's dope.
All right. So what would your artisan tool be? There's alchemist supplies, brewer supplies, calligrapher supplies, jeweler supplies, glass blowers.
Jeweler makes most sense.
Okay. Equipment. You can have a great axe or a great sword, a halberd, a lance, a maul, a morning star.
So I love the idea of you having tiny little like gem chisels and hammers and stuff to like shape jewelry, and then having a massive maul on your back where it's just like a two-handed hammer that you just crush people with.
But also those little like magnifying glass things.
Oh,
where they
yeah.
kind of
Make your
pop them
eyes
down.
Coke
It's
bottles.
just like, this isn't real. Like, I'm also an appraiser.
I love it.
Alrighty, and so we have our Braun Lou Rubyfoot.
Let's go, Lou.
Lou.
What does Lou sound like? Give us a little introduction of Lou.
Yeah, what does Lou sound like? What's Lou's character voice?
Lou's character.
Oh, I didn't
That
do
sounds stupid.
Pie's character voice.
Okay, you do yours first.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
All right, guys, it's a pleasure to meet you. We have sheep on the loose, and I know we haven't met each other yet, but my name's Pi. It'll be a pleasure working with you. I hope everything goes according to plan.
Dude,
Sorry,
come
I
on,
gotta-
do that outside.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Why are you drinking
The
milk?
lactose intolerant Lex.
I ate 30 bars of ice cream today.
I drink 3 gallons of milk. Why would you do that?
Who nobody does that.
It tastes good.
Fermented Loxodon milk.
Okay.
You're drinking your own milk?
I can't. I don't think I
Pi's
can
a
do a
woman.
man's voice if I'm being honest.
Huh?
I think
It's a dragon man, if that makes any difference.
You know dragons have different vocal cords than us, right?
I didn't. I was gonna say like, oh, I did not know that like that was an actual real fact and dragons actually existed. It's like, wow,
Wow, you have
Immersion complete.
I have telepathy.
30 feet telepathy.
What is my name?
Lou.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lou Rubyfoot. Thank you all so much for having me. Thank you.
Fantastic.
A dragon
I
in a few
barely
words.
recognize
Dragon in a
you.
few words. I like it.
Alrighty.
Alright, who's next?
It's gonna be Little Dick Nick.
Sharing is easiest with 2 monitors. Oops.
Oopsies.
Applicant window.
Chrome tab. Go to tabs.
Tabs.
Yeah, and then you can share your specific tab.
Is it sharing?
Yep.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm not changing.
No, go up, all the way up. Homebrew content and critical role content on. Optional class features. Customize your origin. Yep, and then roll for your stats, buddy.
All right. We'll go abilities first. Rolled.
This would be good for people who don't know how to use this.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Yeah, baby. Here it comes.
Oh, that's not bad.
Here it comes. Here we go. Oh wow, these are not.
These are pretty decent,
okay,
dude.
Good. These are way better than this gal's.
It's just,
Well, there it is. Okay,
Yeah, that's not
that-
bad, man.
That's good. All right. So
You
when
can pick a class first if you don't want
I was
to
gonna
like
say,
assign.
when I make a heart, I tend to try to give my heart a weakness that most of the rest of the party can kind of keep up. That way they
Mhm.
kind of have some kind of not really like responsibility, but like they feel like they can help more, and that kind of makes it easy for bonds and stuff to be connected.
Yeah,
What's an
for sure.
example of that you've done?
Uh
I guess your family, Ed Cal's family, right?
Yeah, I mean, because family, I made a couple characters who like were more confused about how the world works. So the rest of the party kind of tended to go, "Oh, we'll help you." So one of my characters was like not from a society, was like from the forest.
That was
And,
what I
like-
did with Belev.
Yeah, and only knew her family. So like when she discovered a village and they kind of were like, "Yo, we like you." She didn't give a shit about gold or any currency. So every time someone tried giving her money, it would be like, "I don't want that shit. That's heavy." And the rest of the party would kind of feel the obligation to go, "Oh no, we'll take it for you."
Like naiveness.
Yeah. Where
Naivete.
so I try to kind of, I don't know, what's we'll go because that looks cool.
Is it all animals at this point?
I chose an animal. We're gonna be small. I don't have anything perfect, but I do have flight. For class, we have rogue barbarian. I'm tempted to go into some kind of like magic user.
Yep, we have our sneaky, dexterous one. We
Kind of
have
tempted to go druid because I have a bias towards druid.
brawny, buildy one. We need a caster.
Yeah, and the leader.
And druid is a good AOE, area
Yeah.
effect caster.
Yeah,
So for Pi, real quick, I switched
Uh-huh.
him to be more of a strength-based rogue.
Mhm.
Okay.
So he has a 14 in strength now, 11 in dex, 15 in con, 14 in intelligence, 15 in wisdom, and 18 charisma. Because I feel like the leader should be also the face of the party.
Yeah. No, yeah, that makes sense. Well, then in that case, yeah, I'm tempted between cleric and
You switch to being a charisma rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not optimized for combat whatsoever.
I was gonna say with intelligence as your
we'll go with
spellcasting mod.
Good.
No, I don't have spellcasting at all. I'm just a straight martial class.
Oh, okay. I was thinking arcane trickster.
Yeah.
So your strength and charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Proficiencies, medicine, insight. I gotta have people like me if I'm gonna be the heart, so I gotta come in handy. Oh my god, there's so many domains. I've never known all of these. We'll go nature because I am an owl. We'll go with, you know what? We'll make it ironic. Animal handling. And as an owl, it would only make sense that I have produce flame. No, we'll go thorn whip. Just
you know how owls do.
Yeah, you know how owls can do fire. Oh god, I always forget.
Sorry, what was your subclass?
Nature
domain.
Nice.
I'm making an ironic.
He's making a druid cleric.
Yeah, I am. Was there an evasive feat?
Mobile,
there it is. Perfect. Destroy undead. Great. Abilities, description, equipment. What's next? Why can't I?
You have to do equipment.
Oh, interesting.
Or
you have a
gold.
name yet? Did I miss that?
No, he didn't name himself yet.
Oh, missing required proficiency. I'm tempted, but I'm gonna go scale. Any simple weapon. You know I got myself a dart. And an
Did you pick a background?
No, I did not. Holy shit.
Because background sometimes will give you stuff too that it won't show up when you add your starting equipment.
Yeah.
All right. Was it description?
Mm-hmm.
Languages. I know Sylvan. Because that only makes sense. And then a fisher? What comes in useful for outside combat? You want to be liked as the heart, and you want
folk hero, far traveler, haunted one. Also gives you
far traveler. Choose a skill, acrobatics, musical instrument. What can owls play? Something that requires fingers, baby. The lute, the lyre. Languages. Oh, I also am able to communicate with my main man, the leader. My Luxodon homie. And I don't care about characteristics.
Flipping you off in 2 cameras.
Yeah, I can't even see. No. Did I not do everything?
You didn't apply your equipment.
Oh, god damn it. Boop, 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 boop.
I know why you really came down here. It's because the AC's on in this room.
So hot in the other room.
One more instrument. Why not? Let's go with something that else requires.
No. This one would be the one that would be in your equipment already.
Oh, you're right. Okay,
Yeah.
so I guess it is.
Oh, and we get music, dude.
Fire.
We should play this fucking campaign, dude. Who wants to DM for us?
Well, it can't be one. Why? Why?
Did you
didn't assign your stats.
apply all your stats?
Because I went back. That's right.
You rolled, but you didn't do any assigning.
Dex,
Wow, that's interesting.
charisma,
For your
What is that?
cleric,
Dex is your dexterity.
intelligence,
Yeah, how quick you are.
wisdom, constitution, strength.
Wow.
Apply.
okay.
Like you basically made Fawn from Disney fairies. That's who this character is.
Yay! Oh, look at those stats, baby! Look at those stats, baby! Oh man, yeah, look at that.
What's your name?
Oh god, it's
You didn't even choose a picture, man.
That was the most chaotic thing for something that had steps 1 through 5 or whatever.
Yeah,
It was
you
so
just
chaotic.
switched all around.
I know. That's why I like making characters that don't make sense because then
Why
you're
doesn't
forced
it
to
work?
learn them.
Well, you went straight to the end. You just said, "Look at character." You didn't select anything.
Nick is the guy that goes to IKEA, buys a gigantic piece of furniture, and throws out the instructions.
No, he's the guy that goes to IKEA and starts at the store.
I'm the one who
Goes
goes
back
to
to the
Subway and
showroom.
orders a sandwich.
Nick's the one who goes to wish.com and orders furniture that says it's IKEA, but it's IKEA spelled wrong. So it's an off brand and it doesn't come with any hardware or tools or instructions, just pieces.
I like it. I like that chaos. You still made Fawn from Disney fairies.
Broden Howler.
I tell you, man, my name creating my
Oh,
Oh,
the second
God.
one for sure.
Oh god, I know.
The second one for sure.
There's your boy.
Yeah.
There's your boy, Broden Howler.
Of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
he's the heart. Guys, why do you think we all need to be fighting like this? Can't we just all get along?
Nick, what do you got for attacks? Thorn Whip.
What does he have for attacks? Puss in Boot Eyes. That means you definitely need to have Charm Person.
I know 60 spells as a cleric?
Yeah, you just pick whatever you want.
I didn't know you knew that.
Every day you get you.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Druids
haven't
and
played-
clerics.
I haven't played cleric in so
Yeah.
long. All right, well, let's see. We'll start with the big stats. I only have 2 third level slots. So we got to pick. Oh, Wind Wall. Oh, I already have that prepared. That's awesome.
Spirit Guardians, bro.
Oh, every time I pick that one, that breaks campaigns.
It's the only thing to pick. That's the only reason to have Cleric.
Wait, I have plant growth?
Always
Oh shit.
prepared.
Oh shit. Wait. Where's spike growth?
You don't have that.
Nope.
No, that's the fucking
Druid.
wombo combo.
That's Druid.
That is the
Oh no, you
wombo-
do have it.
I do, and I always have it prepared. Oh, that's the wombo combo.
Because you're a nature domain. That's why.
Yes. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah,
That's normally a druid spell.
you cast spike growth and then cast plant growth on spike growth, and it makes it basically invincible. And
It's like what is it?
it's the
Sleeping Beauty.
It's
The,
the four.
the front of the Maleficent's castle is fucking spike
You-
growth and plant growth.
It's like enlarge on.
Yeah. My dick.
And then everything else is just gonna be healing because I'm a good boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Bless, and you know what? You can't go with the party without a light cantrip.
You have so much more though. You still have so much more.
Prepared spells. Oh, I can
You
just
have
learn
one more
my
spell and
Oh,
3
yeah.
cantrips.
guidance, resistance, thaumaturgy.
What is that?
Now one more
Thaumaturgy?
prepared spell.
One more.
You can like
Um,
magically open doors and close them if they're not locked, and windows, and you can ignite candles and other fires and unignite
So
them.
useful.
Yeah.
enhance ability. That one's always fun.
Nice.
Oh God. Oh, those are 3, 5, Perfect. All right. I think that's it. Cantrips, prepared spells. Yeah. Holy shit. I think that's it. Yeah, that makes sense. Low AC, so I need people around me because I'm not a solo build.
Or armor.
Low stats, which means...
Wait, how come your armor's not procting from the scale now?
Am I not?
You didn't equip them, man.
You have to manually equip it. Wow.
Oh, you got a disadvantage on stealth?
Because of scale mail, yeah.
There it is. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now.
Flying and just like sinking.
Yeah, look at that hot 28 HP.
So it's funny though, because as an owl, your flight is silent.
Yeah, but the scale is just like...
Yeah.
So as a DM, I would actually probably...
Oh, you're going to DM?
No, I would say I would homebrew that. If I was the DM, if their character is specifically owl based, the owlin race, and they had armor that was plate mail or chain mail or whatever, I would not have them have disadvantage on it, because owls don't flap their wings really. They mostly glide. And so there would be a lot less of the movement that would cause that mail to make sound.
That makes sense. I guess
I would make you roll a strength check every time you fly, though. Be like, can you even get off the ground with your heavy?
That's true.
Otherwise, you'll be silent.
I respect realism. I'm going to change it.
That's balancing the
If I'm going to be a stealth owl, he wouldn't wear heavy armor like that.
He doesn't need to be a stealth owl.
Go scroll
He's
down.
an owl.
Scroll down. Add items. There you go.
I was going to see if I could just see, because I don't remember what the third option was. It was
just
leather,
give yourself
scale,
mithril
and
plate mail.
You heard him,
do
boys. I thought I just...
Oh,
Just do
studded leather, padded leather.
Was it studded leather?
Yeah, that's the one that gives the highest of plus 12. Oh,
The thing
lost
that
Alex.
doesn't
Alex is
actually exist in
Yeah.
real life.
That makes sense. All right. And then I have to go into my character sheet and manually equip
No,
it.
you could have equipped it at the other.
Well, I don't use EMB Beyond.
That's a damn shame. It's a very good resource.
Great. It's a great resource. I love it. I'm just a noob with it. Yeah? Now let's check that. There we go. Now I have weapons.
Looking
Dart.
good.
Look at my silent but deadly dart guy.
If that was the case, you should have got a blowgun instead of a dart.
I thought, oh, you're right. I realized
it's,
the dart's not the weapon. The blowgun is the weapon.
No. Dart.
No,
is
a dart
weapon.
is a little like
Dart
knife.
is-
It's a little
yeah,
throwing
a
knife.
dart is a throwing. Nah, I was thinking I had the blowgun.
No, but you're not proficient with a blowgun.
I'm not blow. Yeah,
because you only have simple weapon proficiencies.
got it.
Blowgun's
Right.
a martial weapon.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well,
That's
fuck
so
yeah,
funny.
darts.
It's one of
Yeah.
the most simple weapons out there. And they're like, nope, you need special training. No, you need to look at the thing you're trying to shoot. And
I mean,
exhale.
I'd probably give it to you as a DM though. If you like, no, I
exhale.
want to be a blowgun user. I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's
I'm
cool.
a blowgun user.
Take your
whatever.
1d4 and enjoy it.
It's not even a D4. It's straight damage. You
Is
don't
it
roll
really?
dice for blowguns.
Oh, wow. It's like unarmed strike.
Nick, you can just type in the filter
No.
blowgun.
No, I don't. Okay, fine.
Yeah, and it'll give you the blowgun and the needles.
Oh, that's crazy.
Amazing.
Boop. And then let's get that dart out of there. Oh, God damn it.
Equipped.
It's. Oh, I was more gonna give myself ammo. I
And
assumed
so
you
now
did.
go down to weapons in your weapons tab right there, and you would have to add blowgun proficiency.
You have- Oh. Oh,
So
right.
click your weapons, add new weapon proficiency. Yep, choose an option. Then scroll down until you find blowgun.
Oh my God! What is so one click, Marshall, scroll to blow, but one click. There it is.
So now go to your actions, and you'll see that it's just flat damage.
Oh,
4.
interesting.
You do just 4 every single time.
Roll it. Good.
So as long as you hit, you 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking hilarious. I'm getting sleep poison on that shit. I'm putting people out.
Just
Give
get
him-
the
give-
back of a
Give him
toad.
5 minutes. Give him 5 minutes. Give him 5 minutes.
The side effect is the sleep poison always gives you an erection.
That's canon. That's canon.
You're just fully torqued. If it's a woman, your nipples get erect and your clitoris gets erect.
All right.
Is it a dart that you blow out of
No,
it?
Needles.
it should just needles.
Needle. Oh, it's not just normal needle?
I guess not.
There's
Just
only
say you have it. It's a
Well,
magic
yeah,
needle
yeah.
that comes out
They're just dried pine leaves.
unlimited.
They're just,
Those bitches hurt.
yeah, they're not doing a lot of damage, but I mean, you get poked with one, you feel it. You feel it.
If you're
That's
from
why
the
you're not rolling
desert,
dice on them.
if you're from the desert, it's just cactus.
Oh my
cactus
god!
spines?
What are those horrible cactuses that we have? The ones
Jumping
that-
choya.
Jumping choy. I'm just pulling the individual needles off of those and blowing those out.
Fucking desert people, man.
Oh.
All right, so what's the voice, Nick?
Well, I appreciate you guys stepping in and helping me. I was a little overwhelmed there. Appreciate the assist.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's good.
I like it.
I mean he's a little nasally, given he doesn't really have a nose. It's more of a beak, really airy.
What was that?
Solid.
So
Thought I heard something. All right. Well. Whoop. Congratulations, Ches. You've been promoted to screen sharer.
mhm.
Hey. All right. Share that screen. Bop.
Oh, share the tab, you noob. Not the window.
What? How do you share a tab?
So you go to share, share screen.
Wait, do I get rid of that other window?
Yeah.
Stop screen.
And then on the top right, you'll see full entire screen, window, or Chrome tab. And just share that specific Chrome tab. That way we don't have to see your whole screen.
See y'all.
And see that it's 103 degrees in hell
Oh!
where you are.
Unrailed is free.
Yeah.
You guys should download Unrailed.
So
on
you said Google Slides?
No.
No, not Google Slides.
No, share screen.
Yeah.
And then when you see share screen on the top, there should be 3 tabs. It'll be like entire screen, window, or Chrome tab.
Nope.
What you mean, no?
That's not what's there.
What do you see?
Well, I could share my screen, but it would go away. It's a share screen tips. Follow these steps. Do not show
Okay,
this
go
screen.
next.
Okay, so it just says share screen.
Choose what to share.
Oh,
Right, it
okay.
says-
So there's Chrome tab.
Yeah.
That's okay. Character build. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Boom. So that's popping up now, right?
Yep. Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay, so
Oh, or
then,
should we do this version? Ooh. Or
What?
this. We're not even here anymore. No. Or on
Oh.
the
The
side.
reactions are interesting.
Okay.
I feel like our reactions should totally be shared.
Roll for your abilities.
All right. Let's get this. And we'll call him, or
Poopy
we'll call
pants.
her. Let's call her
Poopy Pants. Esquire.
Lena. Oh, we don't need a picture yet because we
Dunham?
don't know what we're gonna be. No, Lena is my grandmother's name. So we're gonna go by Lena because I had dinner at her place last night, so she's on my mind.
What did Nona make?
Nona, we actually went with Mexican food. We had Tostitos last night.
Oh, this turd, man. Oh. Let's go, Grandma.
Yeehaw. Cool. Let's go race. Let's go race. There's loading. All right.
No, because there's a bunch of homebrew stuff, so people made them, and then since we're doing it in the new Greyhawk Vice one, whatchamacallit, Jason's content is also on there. So stuff that he added as a.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to you, Nick? Why'd you leave?
Where'd you go? Oh, he's still here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
still see it. You're still
yeah.
on the.
Can you guys nod if you can hear me? What the fuck? I can't hear you guys. And I can hear YouTube and stuff in my headphones, just not you guys.
Interesting. Figure it out, Nick. Figure it out.
Figure it out. Slippery penguin.
That sounds adorable. Let's go turtle.
This motherfucker.
Let's go turtle. Why not? That'll be
We should have all just went Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's be.
Oh, they let you be small turtles now?
Yeah.
If Jin dies, I'm gonna be a small turtle.
Speed is the same though. It's just great.
Yeah. And you can
You
still
get
pick up squat
claws.
nimbleness. So you can still get a extra 5 speed of movement.
Hold your breath.
Are they on 2 feet or are they on like?
Oh, force.
Are they on
I imagine they're bipedal.
Yeah.
So nature's intuition. We are gonna go with perception. Or
You gotta
actually,
keep an
let's-
eye on those.
Let's go stealth.
Hmm.
And then my shell defense. So actually, because I have a set AC, I don't need to be a dex build in order to get a high AC. So I'm going to go and change that. So that instead of having a dex build, I will have... So we have a straight up brawler. We have a kind of sneaky
Hey, I'm gonna
fighter.
leave. I'll be right back.
All right, man.
Nick's
A
Nick's
heart.
character was what kind of? It's cleric. So there's still
A
some
Dexy druid.
some fighter.
Dexy cleric druid thing.
So that's one spellcaster. You know what? We can go like this.
Oh, I can hear people again.
You're gonna be the smart lancer. That's terrifying. Oh, he's going with the charisma lancer. Against my charisma leader.
Apply ability scores. Let's go 2 and 1. And we'll increase charisma by 2. And con by 1. Cool. So that'll give me that. Languages. As a turtle, we'll have what would make sense in this city. We'll keep it on this plane. Let's just say orcish. Can speak orc.
So can any of them talk to each other?
Yeah, we all speak
We all
common.
speak common.
Oh, okay.
These are just extra ones. So if we're gonna go charisma as a background, something that will be performance based or persuasion or deception based.
Charlatan,
Mm-hmm.
grinner, entertainer.
Urchin has the sleight of hand and thieves kit, so that's more crime. Let's see here. Entertainer is acrobatics and performance. Acrobatics will help because I have nothing in Dex now. And a musical instrument. Let's do a drum. And it's great because the drum is actually the turtle's shell. So he just takes out mallets and he like plays a bass drum behind him that's on his back.
There was a Disney movie that had that. Which one was it? Was it Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the turtles like flip inside out of their shell
Yeah.
and they play on the.
Yeah.
The bellies.
So,
Anytime I think of this, I think of Pocahontas, though. We will sound the drums of war. They're savages, savages. Okay. Suggested characteristics, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we'll go entertainer. And... oh, another musical instrument. We'll do longhorn. Longhorn. There we go. We'll do a lock of hair. That's cute. Add starting equipment. Cool. And class. We're going to go Warlock. And we're doing 5 levels. So proficiencies, we get light armor, simple weapons. Warlock skill, let's go deception. And intimidation, just because they're charisma ones. Otherworldly patron, this is fun. I don't know really any of these. We'll just go Hexblade because that's something that I know and have heard of. Eldritch Invocations. These are things, spells that I can do, I guess.
So they're like modifiers to your abilities. So if you're gonna use Eldritch Blast a lot, I would recommend getting Agonizing Blast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd recommend picking a Pact Boon first. So, because your invocations can change depending on what Pact Boon you get.
Gotcha. Choose on level 2, choose a level 5 option. So Pact Boons, Pact of the Blade, right? That's the one that's popular for the Eldritch.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll throw a feat on there. And we'll choose, let's see, what are we going for? Magic Initiate. Even though I only have 2 spell slots, that's not going to make too much sense. Let's see. Shadow Touch, Charisma. You increase your intelligence with your charisma by 1. You learn Pass Without a Trace spell. First level spell, Illusion, Romantic. Oh, okay. What do you think? Spell Sniper. You can learn 1 cantrip that requires an attack roll. We'll go. Which would I normally not have? We could do Firebolt. Firebolt does catch things on fire, if I recall correctly. Flammable object hit by the spell ignites, and if it isn't worn or carried.
This turtle crazy.
This turtle be crazy. So Firebolt is a great cantrip for that use. Okay, so we'll go Agonizing Blast.
And then you can pick up Thirsting Blade, which will allow you to attack twice with your Hexblade weapon.
Thirsting Blade. Ooh, that's a fun one. You can attack with Pact Weapon twice instead of once whenever you take the attack action on your turn. So that just basically gives you like a level 5 2 attacks per action.
Yeah.
Because you don't normally get that with Warlock, do you?
No.
That's cool. And then the last one. You can reduce that creature's speed by 10 feet. That's not that great. Mask on your faces. Repelling blast. Undying servitude. What? Animate dead without using a spell slot. You can't cast this in a way until you finish a long rest. So you can animate dead. That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not familiar with all these packs. Repelling blast, I'm assuming on an Eldritch
Pushes
Blast.
them away. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is great. Any push or pull type of.
There's a pulling one too.
Yeah. Those are always kind of smart and fun. So Thirsting Blade, Agonizing Blast, when you cast, add your Charisma Fire to the damage that deals, and you gain proficiency in Deception and Persuasion skills. That's the one. But if I have... Okay, so I don't normally get those, though, so that's perfect.
I think another Eldritch invocation you can grab is Eldritch Smite at level 5.
Oh, I already had Deception on
Yeah.
there, so it changed it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I go back, that was here? No. That
Invocations.
was here. Instead of that, Eldritch Smite.
Mm-hmm.
That.
Mm-hmm.
Once per turn, when you hit a creature with your packed weapon, you can expend a Warlock spell slot to deal an extra 1d8 force damage, plus another 1d8 per level of the spell slot. You can knock the target prone if it is huge or smaller. So it's basically like a Divine Smite.
Yeah.
But since you only have like 2 spell slots, you're only getting to fire that off a couple of times per Fiendish Vigor.
But you have a 3rd level spell slot right now. So
I do.
you would do 1d8 plus 3d8. So 4d8 of damage if you choose to expend your spell slot. The smite.
That's a lot.
It ain't nothing.
Surround yourself with a magical aura that looks like buzzing flies. That's terrifying. But not through total cover. It lasts until you incapacitate or you dismiss it as a bonus action. The aura grants you advantage on intimidation checks, but disadvantage on all other charisma checks. Any creature that starts its turn in the aura takes poison damage equal to your charisma modifier. Once you use this invocation, you can use it again. You can't use it again until you finish a long rest. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
That's so scary.
Just automatically, if you're within 5 feet of them and they set this thing off, you take 5 poison damage. It doesn't say you're poisoned. You just take poison damage.
And it also looks like you're in, like, being swarmed by bugs.
And they're moving with you. Ooh.
No.
You can use any weapon you summon as your Pact of the Blade feature as a spellcasting focus for your Warlock spells. In
That's
addition,
dope.
the weapon gains a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls unless it is a magic weapon that already has this bonus. Finally, the weapon you conjure can be a short bow, long bow, light crossbow, or heavy crossbow. That's cool. So you can summon a ranged weapon.
For a spiritual weapon,
Mm-hmm.
it says a melee weapon or the weapon of your god. So whenever I played a character with a spiritual weapon, I would always
Artemis.
worship a god with a ranged weapon.
Yeah.
And my DM would always be like, and I'm like, it's my god's weapon. They're like, all right, fine, you get an arrow. So I would just have a big bow and arrow above me, just.
That's crazy.
This guy min-maxing, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I worship Apollo, and well, it's like you, I guess.
There's so many good ones. Armor of Shadows. Let's just see. You can cast Mage Armor on yourself at will without expending a spell slot or material components. What does Mage Armor do? What does that give you?
It gives you plus 13.
It makes your. Oh God, I don't.
Makes your AC go up.
My base
Yeah.
AC is based on my shell, so it's just 17
I would
naturally.
be wrong.
Right. So it'll be
But
useless on you.
In 3.5, Mage Armor affected your base AC, so it was AC 10 plus Dex. It changed it to be like, okay, now it's 13 plus Dex.
Gotcha.
That's
You know what?
It is. It's your AC becomes 13 plus Dex.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I for my sorcerer with the bloodline, because I have natural armor, I can't cast mage armor on myself because it doesn't do anything. They cancel out. It just basically becomes 13 plus Dex to 13 plus Dex. So they don't stack.
Darn.
Yeah, and a lot of abilities straight up say if you're wearing armor, it negates the armor, or your armor negates the spell.
There's just way too many options here.
I love Warlock.
That's crazy.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
I'm just gonna go basic and not take an extra thing and have beast speech or devil sight. Devil sight, that's the best.
I love
Magical and non-magical. Yeah, that's the tits right there. All right, pop. Description, got that. Equipment, pretty sure I got all of that. We'll get this. We're gonna do simple weapon.
Bless you.
And what are we gonna go with? He is a warlock that is hexblade, so we're gonna freaking make it a. He's a hexblade warlock, but there are no blades here. Screw it. Quarterstaff it is. An arcane focus. Engineer's pack. Wait, what is this? Leather armor, any simple weapon, and 2 daggers. So there's a stick. There is a, I guess, a dagger. I already have 2 musical instruments. Or did they clear that one? Drum. Calling that is. And dagger, dagger, dagger. That's what we're looking like. Unarmed strike is a straight D6, a slashing damage. Daggers are D4. Quarterstaff is D6 with some firebolt's capabilities.
What about your spells, though?
Meow. Manage spells. Add spells. We got 3 cantrips. So we'll go. Here's one. Eldritch Blast is 1.
That's a must.
Booming Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. There we go. And it's True Strike. Oh, that's no.
Oh, True Strike is the shittiest spell. Don't get it.
Toll the Dead is a fun one. Sword Burst is all right. I'm honestly Mage Hand is the utility one. That's great to have. And then what is it? 6 spells. We're gonna start off at the top, and we have 1 3rd level spell that we get, right? 2 3rd level spells. Okay.
Well, you have 6 spell slots, so you can arrange them however you want at this point.
Oh, beautiful. So we'll go. I mean, Summon Fae sounds fun. That's just some chaos right there. That'll be 1. Automatically sees when being frightened on failed save. Target loses the ability to distinguish from friend and foe regarding all creatures it sees as enemies until the spell ends. That's some shenanigans. I like that. We'll get Dispel Magic. We'll get Counterspell. And Hex, shield. One more. Branding Smite. There we go. So for spells, I'm going with Booming Blade, Eldritch Blast, Firebolt, and Mage Hand. So 2 spells to roll, one that is something on yourself just as a buff, and then one that's a utility. And then Branding Smite, we're trying to diversify our types of damage that we can do. So this is going to be Radiant, Counter Spells and Negation, Dispel Magic, again, kind of like controlling the area and the atmosphere around us. Hex is a necrotic damage onto opponents. Shield is safety. If my AC at 17 isn't great, my initiative is a -1 because my dex is low. I might switch these around so that I have 0 for dex and -1 for strength, because I don't need strength right this. And then Summon Fae, because summoning a bunch of pixies to do your bidding is chaotic as hell and super fun. Because, you know, sometimes nature likes to help out. So let's go back and change that ability score assignment. Oh, that's right. And I also get to add that Warlock skill of Deception back. There we go. So we're all caught up there. And we're going to switch Dex and Strength. That. So now I don't have negative in my initiative. I'm just flat 0. So now I could bump my AC up with shield, gives it a +5. Yeah. Thinking that's it.
Nice.
Pact Magic with Charisma. Got these different ways to mess around with Agonizing Blast. I took Spell Sniper, so all of my range is already like at its extents. So my Eldritch Blast can go 240 feet. Same with my Firebolt. Yeah.
Picture.
Yeah, you didn't pick a portrait, man.
I didn't pick a portrait. That's an important aspect.
I think your shell should have like flames or a skull and crossbow like painted on it.
A skull
It's got
and
a pink
crossbow
job.
painted
It's
on
got
the
a pink job on it.
Yeah. Like an
Pinstripes.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Yeah, they don't give many turtle options. I'm gonna go with this one though.
What do they
She's
sell?
a sassy.
What does she
She's
sell?
a sassy old Nona for sure.
Oh yeah. That's my lancer.
That's your
Oh,
Lancer.
jeez, Grandma.
Yeah,
Stop
she's basically
pissing
going to
me.
be nagging you all the time, talking about, you know, in her generation, we didn't have any of these like whiny ass little adventuring boys. We just had straight up men. That's what we had. She's just going to nag you and just, you know, tell you your father would have done it better.
I feel like I should change my character around and be a celebrity adventurer scion. Like you were my dad's original party member, right?
Oh my gosh. Or your dad's manager.
Uh-huh. And now,
Your dad's
So-
talent
Like
manager.
Joey's manager.
Joey's
I feel
manager,
like
Estelle.
now
just
that I
like,
see your build,
Joey, I swear you're gonna be something great one of these days. If you could just get your act together, get your head out of your ass, and I swear you're gonna be wonderful.
that's her voice.
That's Lena.
Oh, good luck.
She's fantastic.
So I'm gonna switch over to celebrity adventurer scion.
She's a chronic smoker.
She's surprisingly a pleasure to be around.
Change to Sylvan for my boy.
You would like her.
See, and this is why
Yeah.
it's also funny to like do collaborative.
Wait, you're
character
learning
building and
Sylvan for
development.
me?
Yeah.
I learned what? But I
You
learned
Luxodon for you.
Luxodon for you.
Too
Aw,
bad.
romance.
So when I saw you win Warlock, I was like,
Yeah.
opposite of Warlock's Paladin.
Sure.
So I switched over to a Pally build.
Nice.
A pally leader.
Yeah.
And you
But
know,
you know,
me-
I'm constantly living under the shadow of my parents.
And then there's me and LeBron, who are best of friends, lifelong, right? Yeah, buddy duo.
I agree with this arrangement? Together?
I would love to get together. We can have coffee or maybe some tea.
Oh, I can't have
I'm
coffee.
no
It makes me
longer
too
drinking
jittery.
Coffee. It's something my doctors talked to me about.
I like how we have old judgmental woman.
I'm trying to go for Christopher Walken, but I don't think it's coming across.
I
can't.
Yeah, no, that's totally what I got.
Christopher Walken talks with a very weird speech pattern. Really, if you just get the speech pattern down, you don't really have to do an accent. It's there, you know.
It's just Walken.
The voice and inflections and the parameters in which he speaks.
That was good.
Normally,
Oh, that was good.
That was good.
You don't really
you got to
have
do a lot of
do
the
an accent.
pauses in
you
different
just have
locations.
to talk a little hoarse.
And sometimes when the voice goes up, sometimes you just repeat. Sometimes you repeat it. Repeat it in different ways to get the point across.
All right. I think we're slowly starting to fade into the Green Goblin, William Dafoe's Green Goblin. We're starting to get a little bit.
You know something, Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Me and you aren't so different, you know?
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Yep, basically.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Wait, how do I stop screen? Okay, there we go. I'm done with that now.
Wait, how do I change the background? What?
Yeah, I want a new background. No, you have to do it.
Shit, you gotta subscribe, dog.
Oh, you do? Wait. No, you don't. Yeah. My cleric
You just gotta zoom out.
Well, no, it's based on your class, and the cleric one is just stupid.
The backdrop for warlocks is just a haunted house looking thing.
I wish I could look at the background, but it looks like it's just like a castle and some mountains.
Yeah, but if you subscribe to D&D Beyond, you can have a whole bunch of drops.
Oh,
True.
Yeah, I got
plug.
yeah. Plug the thing that
Not sponsored.
Yeah, not sponsored.
No, but we use it all the time.
Yep.
As it is one of the best tools out
Yeah,
there.
this entire video is
It's
just
an
yeah.
advertisement.
So if D&D Beyond,
Hey,
you gotta
guys.
pick us like $5 or subscribe to the channel real quick.
D&D Beyond, if you want to
I'd love a McGriddle.
follow us back, subscribe even, that'll be awesome.
So
The D&D Beyond, can you subscribe to us?
so I ended up with a Loxodon Paladin.
Yep.
Ches,
I ended up with a Warlock Turtle.
Nick.
I ended up with an Owlin cleric.
Okay, Alex.
Barbarian Dragon.
Born.
Barbarian Dragonborn. Dope. So the things that make them the leader, the Lance of the Heart, and the Brawn are basically their characteristics, their personality traits. The way that they would handle confrontation or conversation all comes from that being their primary objective or their defining character trait, if you will. So as a paladin, normally paladins have these religious missions that they believe in. They're very devout, kind of similar to clerics. They take on oaths and they get divine magic through their relationship with their deities and their gods. So having that, you said that you were going to do, was it a lawful character?
Yeah, lawful good character.
Lawful good character. So immediately in knowing that my leader is going to be lawful good, I would push for the Lancer to probably be lawful neutral or chaotic good.
Well, when you typically look at the Lancer leader kind of like back and forth, usually one of them tends to try to avoid conflict while the other one is more conflict.
Thrives in it.
Yeah. Whereas if one of them has the idea to let's think about this, the other one will tend to go, no, let's not think, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's you typically get the two idea system where it's like, well, there's two options. It's like one of them is obviously a smarter option, but this guy's presenting a second option that might also work.
And they'll normally visually give you some idea of, oh, the hero is the golden boy, the blonde hair, blue-eyed, blah, blah, blah. Their Lancer, the dark-haired, grungy, like, bad boy of the group.
Angry, yeah. Or the opposite way around. You get the leader who doesn't really stop and think and is just going, nah, I got a job to do. And the Lancer becomes the voice of reason and the kind of guardian.
It's the counterpoint to whatever position the leader is taking. It doesn't necessarily need to be a disagreement, but just an alternate way of thinking. Another thing that can, I don't want to say devil's advocate to the leader, because that always sounds like it's a confrontation point, but it's trying to fill the holes in the way that the leader could be thinking by showing these alternate forms of perspective. So yeah, I would have something to where my Lena, my Turtle Warlock, she would be probably would have a shady past, of coming up with backstory. If we were going off of the idea that Vince had for his backstory of his parents were adventurers, and Lena was like part of their original adventuring party. Part of that dynamic can be that boomer energy of, in my generation, and always kind of like one-upping the current situation with glorifying the past. That could be one of like my character tropes or traits that it could be an arc that I want to work on and develop and like actually grow and respect and realize that these young kids are fighting in a world that's different from the one that she was fighting in when she was a young adventurer. And that could be some of the things that I, as a player, am constantly looking for in our character interactions to try and Chav Hunter.
So that's like kind of like there's a lot of wisdom, but there's also a lot of shortcomings because she's not updated.
Absolutely. If there's something that's new technology or arcane wise, she's not going to be about it.
And that really does help with the whole like kind of imbalance of the leader Lancer. Now you get someone who's kind of more modern versus old school, where you get that a lot in like old Western movies where it's like new times are coming, but there's always one who's like, no, I'm traditional, man. You're like different, just like ideas.
We're doing good, Chav. We were just having a more impromptu discussion on character roles and arcs and the archetypes that different characters play within party dynamics. We didn't have a game today, so we've just been sitting around chatting. Thanks for joining us anyways. It's fun stuff. We were just talking about our leader, Vince's character. We are creating a party for a fake campaign, is a paladin, lawful good, and my character would be a Turtle Warlock, to where not only our classes are going to be contradicting, but also our generations. So his character is going to be younger, my character is going to be older. So we're going to have a lot of fun opposing mindsets and dynamics in regards to how our characters believe the situations and the things should be handled. Because as an older person sitting back watching a younger person attempt to do a thing that you've been doing your entire life, you'd be like, you could try that the easy way if you want to just do it the easy way. You want to do you're looking for the learning experience. I get it. Okay, no, you go ahead. You do your thing.
So almost a little patronizing too.
Also, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Because when she grew up, honestly, that's when like men were real men.
Not these pansies nowadays.
Not these wimpy little. Oh, you mean like a big bad evil person? Maybe a little bit.
Whoa, that far. Come on.
I mean, we
the
might.
Big bad is always English. They always have an English accent.
You're right. No. You're right. We won't go English. We'll go something crazy like German or Russian.
Yeah, that's.
Hey, big boy, fuck you.
There you go. That's our.
Hey,
oh no, our big
that's
bad is going to be
device?
unintelligible.
Derval is gonna have a Vietnamese accent.
Oh man.
What did he say? I'm not being racist. I just can't understand.
I say, honey, I do your nail. I put jail on $20 special.
I think I got the first part of that, but it lost me at the end. What was?
Wait. Did they call me honey?
I mean, no offense. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but I have no idea what you're trying to say.
You're offending me, motherfucker.
I'm sorry.
So we've already kind of like built out these little bits of not only personalities but things that she'll say. Little catchphrases, knowing that she's gonna be a bit sassy and probably like chain smoking all the time.
Gaslighting too. Like if you mention anything to her, like I didn't like the way you said that, she'd be like, I don't like, that's not my fault.
Yeah. Oh, do you think I have lived this many years to care about what you think?
No, not even to not care, just to like how I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh,
you took it the wrong way.
That's absolutely. Yeah. Oh, because like, there's that whole thing of like, as people get older, certain laws should no longer apply to them in that regard. Like, if you make it over 100, you should accidentally be able to kill somebody and get away with it, in my opinion.
No.
I've read an exact story on why that's a bad idea. Like a murderer literally got out on good behavior and within 2 weeks had murdered someone else, and he was like, they deemed him too like gentle
fragile?
or too fragile to kill anybody, and like within
in
2
the
weeks,
jail.
he like at like 89 years old or some bullshit like that, like he finally got out of jail, and then
see, that's the thing, he didn't pass 100. If you'd passed 100.
I thought they were gonna say something like, "Oh, they should be able to do math." It's like
that too. Elephant tranquilizer, you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
No, but there is a tiny bit of that entitlement of just being of an older generation. So that's easy for an elf. Yeah, it's really easy for.
I mean, once you get out of 100, that's like R18, right? And you're finally considered an adult.
Pretty much, yeah. With halflings, it's like, or with Tolkien's hobbits, you're a child until you're 30. With dwarves, you're in your 60s till you're actually going off doing man stuff, like adult stuff, not human stuff.
Well, how old
I thought you said Nam stuff. I was like, what the fuck is Nam stuff?
Like
stepping on a landmine and fall into a bamboo trap?
How old was Bilbo Baggins when at the beginning of Lord of the Rings? Was it his 100?
The beginning of an 111th birthday.
It was but it was wrong. It was wrong. It wasn't 111.
11 years ago.
11, thank you. That couldn't remember the stupid term that they were like, hobbits live to be about 15-0. Like, what? I hate you. Get out of here. Don't talk to me.
No, but that's also the crazy thing is in Bilbo being 111 years old, that wasn't necessarily like some crazy old age for hobbits, but because he still looked so young, that's what everybody was like freaking out about.
Well, that was his also goodbye party. That was his party that he was dipping, and he was like, I'm going away.
Yeah, that was also his. That's just Bilbo being.
But
Bilbo
that was just like the one memorable age that I remembered. It was like 111, and he was about past his like.
Because he was supposed to be around Frodo's age when he went off and did the Adventures of the Hobbit.
Yeah. Oh my god, just the frame. God,
too much Tolkien talk. So getting back to our party, in finding out these little just like societal tropes, you can start building and forming your character personality traits.
And there's a lot of like goals that kind of vary between the roles, where like your leader tends to be given a task. So like an obvious one would be like King Arthur, where King Arthur had a job to do, where the Lancer was kind of either he wanted to be recognized, he had an individual goal, where like they're trying to do something that either benefits themselves, gets them glory, where it's like they're trying to get kind of surf the wave.
Well, they also kind of want to be promoted as well, right?
That's what I'm saying, like respected. Yeah. Whereas like they have a goal for themselves that they want to kind of do, and they're using the leader to do that. The heart tends to just kind of, I've seen a lot where they kind of just want to see a particular thing, where they want to see a waterfall, or they have a simple goal where it's like, I want to go to the Feywild. That's my goal. I'm quirky. And like, once they get there, they're like, cool, that's my quest. I'm happy.
Right, but
and then
we assume that they've built some sort of relationship where
where like they get sidetracked, so they're not just on a mission or on a journey anymore. They're getting sidetracked, and that's why the heart or the like non-combat fighter person like ends up with these groups, and it's just like, well, I was going here, and then I kind of joined in. And then I've kind of like notice that the brawler seems to have more of a, they want to repeatedly do something, or they enjoy doing something and they want to continue doing that, whether that's killing people, whether that's drinking, whether that's just, you know, sitting back on your porch. And
they got three things in life that they love.
Yeah, where it's like each of them kind of has their own different type of goal, whether that's society in the world or whether that's personal. But a lot of like those roles end up kind of falling into those groups, where the barbarians or the monks are just trying to do something. The barbarian just wants to kill people, or the monk wants to save a race, and they want to keep saving people.
Right.
Whereas like a leader is like, I have to defeat this government. I have to save my family.
There's normally a larger purpose behind the leader than just their circumstance.
The party is pulled with the leader
because the leader has some responsibility that's higher than them and higher than the party that they feel that.
I'm just trying to overcome my parent's shadow.
I've noticed Critical Role does a really good job at that. Whenever they kind of jump to a different plot,
a different campaign, or
not campaign, like,
or just like storyline transitions.
Person's backstory.
Yeah, when they start like, oh, we're gonna do this thing for Laura, and they like do them some stonework, or they do the mind reading stuff and all that. It's like, in that moment, everyone is in agreeing that Laura is the leader, because she is the one guiding that mission. But as soon as like Chetney goes and does something, or Ashton goes, we need to go to a specific spot, everyone unanimously goes, cool, now Ashton's the leader. And it's because they have multiple different plots, whereas in more common D&D games, it's one plot, and then maybe you might throw in a backstory element for one of the characters. But it's usually like, this is your goal, this is what you're going to play.
It's really nice when the backstory elements line up and sync up with your main character and storyline plot, because then while Critical Role does a great job at, and this is very
shifting leader role,
this is very much an attribute to all of the other players taking those other positions in the group when that leader role is shifted. Having that dynamic and that versatility to flip-flop around like that with that many people is a difficult thing to do. They're obviously professionals and are wonderful at it, but you know, when we're talking about building up characters and trying to give them these rich and very in-depth personality qualities, sometimes they are very tropey, and sometimes I mean, I'll find stuff to completely go against the opposite of what you see all the time, like just for the sake of it, just to give diversity and to try and change things up. I'm going to be like, all right, well, this person, even though they're old, they're going to be super smart and techie and on the verge of like all of the new stuff that's happening like in society. Like, they're not going to be like Lena the Turtle is in regards to like her mentality about glorifying her generation and, you know, not thinking that this group is going to do anything as profound or as world changing as what my group did when we were kids back in the day, you know? So it's fun to find those typical tropes and then flip them on their head to do the opposite, but still have like the moral backing and ground that trope normally would be able to like overcome in their own story arc.
Well, it's like Ithcal. Ithcal literally never sneaks, nor does he sneak attack.
No. He just walks up and stabs people in the hand.
But because of...
I think you had advantage on that, so you did roll sneak attack, which is why they died.
But because of the way, or like I guess who trained him, or the area he was learning, the way he had to learn was not probably the way he would have liked to learn, but how he learned. So like, I'm sure he was trying to be inquisitive and have a good investigation, but like when you're out just doing patrol around your city-state, making sure there's no like hordes of bandits or bullshit, you don't really get to study in a library.
No.
So like he learns like basically like, oh well, he's out doing his job as a rogue, so as he's just doing that, he's getting better and focusing on the skills, but at the same time, it's like, well, he never cared about the stealth, so he never became a rogue for stealth, even though that's a huge part of most rogues.
Yeah,
it's like he's not. That's not his character. So even though you would think his character is based on being sneaky and everything, it's like he's not using that. He doesn't care about that because that's not who he's going to use. So it'd be like an artificer who's against tech.
a lot of people in real life have jobs and skills that they don't enjoy.
Yeah.
And some people have jobs that they're not good at. Like, this is part of the human experience. Is a lot of the times, you know what, this is what your parents did, and this is what you got shoehorned into.
Yep.
So you have the skills. You're a fantastic fighter. You have all these battle master techniques and everything, but you really wanted to be a bard. So you hang out near a bard college and you go on some adventure with, the chick that you had a crush on who's the harp player or whatever.
Yeah.
And that could be part of an alluring backstory, or just like something that went wrong on that adventure that caused some form of trauma that was a defining moment in this character's like past, right? So again, we're talking a lot about like the development of new characters, or if we're talking about like Alex, if you're new to the game and you're not sure how to like go and create and be focusing on the mechanics while at the same time trying to figure out how to like tell a cool story and be descriptive and all these other things. If you think about your personal life, and don't say things out loud if you don't want to, but what are some things that have happened in your life that have been defining moments that you would say have shaped your character, your personality? If you think about those same types of things for your character, like what was their upbringing like? Do they have siblings? Because siblings affect the way you interact with people. It affects your social life a lot. Having to learn to share and do all these other things with siblings. Hand-me-down clothing. Some kids experience that. Some kids don't. That is a defining personality trait. I shop at Ross regularly. Not regularly. When I do need to shop, I shop at cheap places to get like cheaper clothes because I always had hand-me-downs. And so like frugality in my characteristic in my life is an important thing that is just subconsciously ingrained into me.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking of those things, traumas, bad things that happened in their life that threw them off into a different place, whether it's mental or geographical, like maybe they moved because of something that happened in their life that brought them to this little town, and maybe they met a turtle that reminded them of a grandma in their village. And so they developed this kinship and they started having tea on Tuesdays together, just so that they could sit and talk.
Right.
And now Lena and your character have some bond that is going to be an intercharacter thing, was big. Oh, don't worry, we'll talk about it on Tuesday. That could be something that our two characters can have as a little bit that is, anytime your character's getting overly stressed or whatever, Lena gets off of the nagging and turns into a little bit more of a, not going to be the heart, like super compassionate and worrying about it, just be like, you're fine, we'll talk about it on Tuesday.
Yeah, just like guidance kind of.
Yeah. So that could be an interesting change in dynamic to have between those two types of characters, right?
Right.
So it's
Well,
then
I'm also
just talking about it.
Like, how much would culture take place too? Because like I was thinking dwarves would be really family oriented, group oriented, maybe also respecting of elders. So even if you were blatantly disrespecting me to my face, I couldn't do or say anything because you would be my elder.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So,
That's a great one. It's a circumstance that is shaping or guiding the way that you would react to something, right?
A really good example, like an actual rules example of that kind of happening, is druids not being able to use metal or wear metal armor. Like, it's one of the things where it's like, that one is the only one I've noticed that is a forced kind of play. Where it's like, you're a druid, you can't have metal. What, I don't know exactly why. Is it just like part of their culture where they're just like, it's not natural?
It's in the bylines of the secret Society of Druids.
Yeah, basically you can't wear, but you can use refined metal, which is weird.
You can use it.
Yeah, you
like,
can have a sword. You can have a sword, a metal sword. You you had a scimitar, didn't you?
You're allowed to have a scimitar, I think.
Oh wait,
that's like one of the options.
Never mind. That was
as a
another
druid.
character. Yeah,
As a druid, I was rocking a rapier. But
Yeah,
I don't know
sorry,
if
right
that's
here.
because I had the druid barbarian crossover, so I
Well, no,
had
but
access
that
to weapons.
even though you would have access to, like, if I went cleric, I wouldn't be able to wear any heavy armor because if I took one level of druid, because
Right.
there are no non-metal heavy armors.
Right, you cannot cast spells while wearing armor.
Unless like your DM does something for you where he's
yeah.
like iron wood, where you can shape the wood as tough as steel, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
so
is that something in the game, or did you just come up with
well,
that?
there's
I just
bark
came up
skin. There's bark skin,
That's
which
dope.
is a spell that affects your
Ironwood,
skin. But
that's sick. It's a good call out there if that was off the top of the dome.
oh, that's the
That was
thing
right
about
after the missile
homebrew. Homebrew makes just everything easier. It's like you want to play this character and the rules don't let you. All right, well, we'll drop this stat and we'll give you this item. Is this good? And it's like, yes, I can finally play the character. It's
in my opinion, that really is the way D&D was designed originally
Yeah.
to be played. It's like these are guidelines, but the idea is to harness and nourish your creativity to build and tell the story that you want to build.
Well, the D&D 1 was a lot more just like how to play.
Right.
Like this is combat. This is how combat, like turn-based, would work. But there weren't a lot of examples. Like there was
Jason's
no, like,
doing a series where he's rereading the first D&D
oh, that's
modules,
great. Yeah.
like the player's handbook and everything. And you go back and you watch their game design, and it's so primitive to what it is today.
It's meant to be the building blocks. As it's progressed, it's been like, all right, well, we'll define it a little more for you.
Well,
Like, I don't think they mentioned grapple until 3.0, right?
Yeah.
It was something like that where it's like you could have always grappled. You can always just say I grabbed the guy, but they just weren't going.
There was no rules set.
Yeah,
for it,
they weren't going to set the rules for whatever you were going to do, because whatever you were going to do is beyond what they can comprehend. So as the game advanced, they started just defining everything, and now there's a lot less freedom because
as it advanced, they were giving more examples of things that you could do as the creative, because not all people have the creative mindset and mentality to process things creatively versus just linear. Most of the time we're designed to learn and study and complete tasks in a linear form versus a creative, doesn't matter how you get there, the end is the goal and the result is what you're trying to get. D&D is full-on creation. Your character creation, your world environment, your conversations, you're just constantly creating. But if you don't have the capability of just being like, you know what, a Bollywog is a this, it looks like this, it has this type of features, it has this type of attack, it is. If you can't just do that off the top because your brain isn't trained to do so, it seems like each development of the game is adding more and more simplicity and options, so that way you don't have to create. You can just look, be like, I want this is my menu, I now have my meal. But then once they start getting that, naturally they're like, oh, I can go and customize and create, and I want this to be like this, but I'm gonna bring in my own thing here.
There's no rule about shoving an immovable rod up a what was it? Dracoloth's butt. There's no rules, but there's enough guidelines that's like, well, I had to assume you'd make an attack roll against something, and because like if I were to say like I want to shove it up its butt in for 1.0, you would have to be like, well, I guess you have to roll for angle of a movable rod. So like there weren't rules, so it was just
okay. Go ahead and roll for the size of his anus just to see like how much damage it would do.
Yeah, roll a D100 for centimeters.
For centimeters. If it's a 7 centimeter and it's dilating to like 30, then you're gonna have, you know, a really easy time getting that rod up there.
But because each edition is becoming more like accessible for people who lack the advanced skill of just coming up with worlds with nothing. Then it makes it easy enough for those people who struggle to be able to just slightly go off of book. Hey, can my sword be on fire? You know, sure. It does 1d4 fire damage. Who cares? Have fun.
Flaming short sword.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, can my dagger? I'm not an artificer, but can I have a dagger that comes back to me? Yeah, you bought it off someone. Sure. Like it's just
found it at a flea market. The suckers never even knew it had magic capabilities. You got it for just 5 silver.
Where there's enough
material now that you can kind of just grab what you want and go, here's what you get.
And D&D did, or Wizards of the Coast did the brilliant move of crowdsourcing. So now the people that are so obsessed and love the game and the systems and the things that it's done to culture and community can give back and develop their own books. There are so many Kickstarters that I see regularly and Indiegogos where people are launching their own content.
There's tons of YouTube channels. Dungeon Dudes released something. I know Scribble's Codex were there were 4 different YouTube channels that help with the whole pets thing. So like a lot of people who are in are now have the ability to go, well, let's expand. Yeah.
He knows the move.
Is that a breath weapon?
Nope.
It's an exhalation weapon.
It's a sphinxter weapon.
It's an expulsion weapon.
Is it a bonus action or a full action?
Oh, that's a full action.
Damn. It depends on how much indigestion you have.
Oh, its damage is based on what you ate the previous day.
That's a fun homebrew.
We're going into battle tomorrow. Give me that. Give me those chilies. Give me those chilies.
A dragonborn who is a chef, who manipulates their breath weapon based on the meals that they serve.
Oh my
battle.
god, I would love that. You're just a chef who's also basically an alchemist, artificer, who you just imbue the food with abilities, and you're like, this one's a little fire breath.
Weapon. I know we're gonna be fighting over some precarious cliffs, and our footing is gonna be dangerous. I made a meal so that we all, if we need to, have the spell Featherfall.
My Featherfall
ready,
Danish,
and we can cast it once. These are the types of things. there's no ruling system for how that should go, but somebody thought of it, so they were creative enough to do it. So if they're, if the DM is somebody that is about that type, because some DMs are gonna be like, no, I don't. That's not how I want to run my game.
What level do I have to be to craft revivify red vines? It's fuck it.
Revivify red vines.
16, yeah.
Think of the components they would take. So you need a diamond for revivify.
Oh, easily diamond. You need the
250 gold, something like that, right? So you have your spell
250 gold worth of dust.
You need not only your spell components, but you also need your baking components. So you need some red dye number 9. You need
eggs.
some silicone gel,
licorice flavor,
a cauldron, because obviously you have to stir the cauldron to make this shit,
and 2 level 2 spell slots. So you can't just make a shit ton of them whenever you feel like.
2 level 2 spell slots that will give you 5 red vines. And in order to do so, you need to pass a DC spell check of 10 with your wisdom modifier.
See, this is that homebrew stuff where it's we've been given enough other material that we can kind of, what would a fire breath weapon do?
Right.
Well, just normal fire does 1d4, so fuck it, 1d6, and you're it's just, there's enough content now that you can just piece whatever you want. It's great.
What are the death peppers? The one that are on the craziest, highest Julian scale.
Oh, the ghost pepper?
Ghost peppers.
It used to be
I think it's something else now. I think they made something else that's crazy.
It used to be the Caribbean ghost pepper or something like that. Carolina ghost pepper.
Ghost Reaper.
The Ghost Reaper, and then it just got passed up 3 years ago by a little stubby pepper that looked like it was you top it on a fruit salad.
That would be one of the shittiest things to discover.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, I think I found the world's. You know how we said the ghost pepper was the worst? I'm dying right now.
So
pretty sure.
Well, I like the idea of people who've never heard. So it's the foragers. It's I know the hunters haven't had a really good day, but I got really lucky foraging, and I got these peppers, and everyone's yeah, and then everyone's crying.
Magic breath weapon.
Sacrifice him. He's cursed. He burned us all.
He's a witch. He's working for the enemy.
How many witches do you think got burned because of hot peppers?
Jeez.
Or they just thought it was a bell pepper and put it in a stew, and then everyone's like, she's
trying
to poison us. She's trying to poison us.
Damn. Hey, that could be a character's backstory. They were on the run. They were formerly a chef, but they mixed up some peppers, and
I
they're
would love that. That's my
They're in
next
the backwoods.
My next
Yeah.
character is a
community.
chef. My next
they're
character is a
noble.
chef.
The
Oh,
noble that they worked for sent a hunting party out to try and track them down and chase them because they thought
of
that they
peppers.
tried to assassinate their family.
yep.
That's
Backstory, random little things, silly things like that. So, like when thinking about this particular character, they're a barbarian, right?
Mhm.
He's a barbarian. Is it a he?
Who, mine?
Yeah. So he's a barbarian. Maybe we go with that tie with Lena, but like start throwing out just ideas of past life stuff that would lead them to this village.
Well, that's the funny thing. Before I even make a
Yeah,
character,
she's going.
No, I'm thinking. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
What
saw,
am I thinking?
I saw her thinking face, so I was buying her time.
Thank you.
But now I forgot what I was going to say.
When you create a character,
Oh, when I create a character, I try to pick the small little defining character things before I make anything, before I pick a race or class. So with Tifa, my satyr, the first thing I did, I want a character who doesn't understand society. No value of money, no concept of like, I mean, she understands family, but like these like 2-story buildings are ridiculous. Like, how do you even do that?
Right.
Right.
And from that, I was like, well, what race would not know that? Well, a race that's not common. So satyr. All right, what race or what class would work for that? Well, she's a satyr, druid. And you just kind of, I work back from like, what do I want if I could describe my character in one sentence, like what would it be? A lost girl who doesn't understand society. And you just work from that. So like for this owl, it would just be like a person who's just an owl who likes helping people, getting dragged into stuff way over its head. It's like, okay, well, how do I go from that?
over
well,
its head
he's
because it's small.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a healer. He's small. He wants
He's
to care for people.
SMOL.
Yeah, he's nature oriented. He's an owl, so everything is going to be nature spells, nature, all that, but also healing when he can. Because now that I've had that, it's like, well, if he's good at this, he's going to be bad at strength. So now he's a weakling. So now he needs those other people. So there's like the back and forth where like he gives, but he also he's taking a lot more.
Right.
Right. So I guess I would go with the cultural thing where
I see her eyes. She popped up on his screen for a quick second, and I just saw her eyes looking. There was a flash that scared me.
No.
Look there she is. Just a little
How
bit.
is this happening? Oh my god.
She scared me. I saw something move behind him, and then I just saw a corner of her eye. Just
Help.
Help.
I didn't even know that could do that.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I would go with like sort of a group mentality, like community mentality above anything else. So they wouldn't really think about themselves. But because they are the largest of their family, they got definitely looked into like, oh, you're tall, so you must play basketball.
Mm.
Oh,
So like,
that's a
you're
good
big,
role.
so you need to be our warrior. You need to protect us. And my character is a little bit like, oh, I don't want to. So they're not reluctant, but they're not interested in fighting.
It's almost the opposite of Elf.
It's Hulk going back in time, needing to pretend like he's dumb Hulk in Endgame, where he's just like, oh, this is so demeaning.
Mm.
Exactly.
Well, it's the buddy the elf. Instead of no one accepting you, and you trying your best to be accepted and be one of everyone else. It's everyone's treating you different, giving you goals, and you going, I don't want to do that. I want to be like you.
Yeah. Like, why do I have to protect everyone just because I'm 5 feet
Just-
taller than everybody else?
Just because I don't look like you.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like because they have that community mentality, they're going to do that. Like they're
Yeah, you're still
so
gonna.
I can imagine he left because he didn't want to keep doing that. Like his family was just like, if you don't leave, like you'll keep having to fight everything that we come across. But then I come and I find another group and I just basically have a surrogate group now that's now my family and I do whatever they want because I don't know how to do anything else.
Well, they're a lot more accepting of just who you are, who you want to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they didn't see me just as a big kid growing up.
Yeah,
There's a bit of the sister of Encanto in that. Like she's the big
Luisa?
strong one,
Luisa.
so all
Yeah.
of the family members just automatically start piling their problems onto her, just assuming that she could take it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he wouldn't be particularly smart because he didn't spend any time on his education.
Yeah.
Because they're like, why do you need to be smart?
You're playing basketball.
Yeah, you play basketball. You're going to get a scholarship. But he would want to learn. Like, he'd be very interested in what other people are doing and learning what they're doing.
That's a fun one, because if they have a low intelligence to begin with, that just naivete of, like, seeing somebody do something, just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, can you teach me how to do
You
that?
do
like,
that?
probably not. Your intelligence probably won't allow you to do these things. No, you need to have some magical innate ability in order to do these types of magic spells. But you know what? The fact that you are wanting to learn is endearing, and that's going to create a cool dynamic between you and like the magic user that you're talking to, you know? And just always having like that idea of curiosity. That's just a really cool thing when you see something new and exciting that you don't know about. Not only are you, if it's dangerous, you're the first to go in and like attack or defend from it, but also if it's just like fancy and intriguing, if we go to a town or a festival and there's fireworks, you could just be like, and running into all of it, just like with childlike bliss and wonder, which is a cool trait to have for the big one, the big person in the group.
Well, I like the idea too that because they've been fighting big things for so long, like protecting the family, like something genuinely terrifying could be running at them, and they just be like, "Oh, I got it, don't worry." Yeah. But like a firework would be like, "You guys, we're gonna die." Like, we need to get to cover.
Did you see the sky just exploded?
The sky is they are bombing us right now. But I also, going back to like the pepper thing too, I feel like he would just literally eat everything. No concern. Just be like, what is this? Eat it. Turn tiny.
The typical cartoon where the face goes red and the steam comes out the ears. Yeah. And they have the train whistle.
You see the red fill. No, that's I like a good party kind of like connection point is the whole I wasn't accepted where I'm from, but they accept me.
Yeah.
So where you in your home, everyone was a dwarf, everyone was 4 feet shorter than you. You were the only oddity.
Yeah.
But then when you show up to a group of only oddities, well, you're just normal at that point. So it's the home versus the adventure where it's like you enjoy being home, you love it, but it may not be pushing you in the direction you want to go.
Yeah, well, it's accepting with condition versus accepting without condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like maybe my family wouldn't have like accepted me so much if I wasn't protecting them constantly.
Yeah,
or at least that's what my perception is, but they would say something different.
No, the opposite way around. You think you're being hailed as a hero, but everyone in their town is just like, yeah, he's the dumb guard. He's the one who just keeps all the wolves from going through the front gate.
Jesus, man.
Yeah,
that's so sad.
Well, no, like that, but or it could be, he is a valued member of our community. We would be nothing without him, but you still feel like you don't belong.
Yeah.
It could also be
it's like the Hercules stories. Like I need to find out who I am. I got to go to Zeus's temple.
Yeah.
Well, it could be the opposite though. Like you can have a great, which is again my mentality of like going and doing the complete opposite of what the tropes are, because it's always the isolated outcast from society, never fits in at home, like because that's something that is extremely relatable. A majority of people do feel like
everyone feels like they're the
like they have
out.
A certain point in their life, whether it's school or work or their friends or their family group, like somebody's always going to feel like an outcast. It's just, it's the human condition. That's why we constantly seek out people that are on like our same energy level or vibe, because it's something that we can relate to. So in finding those little bits between different characters, or why is Lena going to have this type of character relationship with Pi? Why is Lena going to have this type of character relationship? What was your character's name?
Lou.
With Lou.
Do we need to change our names?
Right. And figuring out those little dynamics a little bit ahead of time, but also being aware of trying to figure them out in game, because unless these groups of people have been traveling and adventuring together for a long period of time, and they have already known each other for a long period of time, they're going to be figuring this out naturally as they just go through experiences together, finding out all these little connections. But you also kind of have to like have them in mind ahead of time and already have them kind of like pre-plotted out, because those are the decisions that are informing you of what your personality characteristics are going to be, right? So you already have these, and then once a situation comes up, we're like, oh, we're going to be passing by Verbonk Bonk. That's actually where my cousins live. And like all of a sudden now there's an opportunity to see you interact with your cousins, which could lead to enlightenments for the characters that you're playing with or that you're working with, as to some of your backstory stuff. Oh, that's why they're afraid of swimming. That's why they're afraid of water. They never want to go, because their cousins used to freaking waterboard them as like a joke or as playtime.
Yeah.
No wonder they don't want to, go fording the river. They're going to try and find anything they could possibly do to find a bridge or go days out of the way because they can't swim.
Right.
So little things like that. You would never know that was going to be an issue unless all of a sudden you get to a river and you're like, oh, hey guys, by the way, I can't go that way. We have to find another way around. What do you mean we have to find another way around? Now you've created inter party dynamics because we were on a time crunch to get to this certain place for this thing, and now we have to go all the way this way. That's where the heart comes in. You guys, you know what? It's going to be fine. We're all going to get through this. If
I'm just going to shape some water, make an ice bridge.
Come on, Moses, that river.
Right? No, there's, but that's also the thing where like, if the Lancer or the leader is like, wait, you can't swim. This is something that you should have told us. Then the heart could come in and be like, hey,
I'll teach you.
Yeah, we don't know what the issue is. Like, we don't know why. Like, let's put out some compassion and try and help this person. And the leader could just be like really blinded but I have to get to this thing and help save this person.
Right.
So it's sticking to that role, kind of staying true to it, but then at the same time also knowing if it's a character flaw. Every time you see an opportunity, and it might depend on the roles, but every time you see an opportunity to slowly shift and transition into that new form, you have your statement of your character. My character is this, and throughout the course of their adventure, they're going to become this, that scared coward becoming courageous, or, just those are broad brush strokes for that
overcoming their
but whatever their
problems.
It doesn't even necessarily be negative, but just their challenges that they're trying to overcome in life, be it personal or external, other people fighting you. Those are challenges as well. Political dynamics in a country or a region. Those are challenges as well. The fact that magic can't be used in specific areas of the land, but you're a magic user. Like, those are all things.
Wild magic.
With wild magic. Those are all things that you have to like figure out and know that are going to be issues, and your character would have their own ways to like mitigate or like that risk. But if something happens, they're also going to have contingency plans in place to, one, if they need to flee the country, or two, take on a disguise so that they can't be identified, or three, like smuggle into a ship and become a pirate because they don't have any other choice. Like, turn themselves in, whatever the case is going to be. Right. All these are the little breadcrumbs that you could just have in the back of your mind as like story or hook or plot points that can continue to grow your character in a direction that you think. And sometimes it'll come out of left field and you'll be like, I never thought of taking this story or this character in this direction, but because of this one thing that my friend did, it completely shifted the perspective of my character, and now my character is more like this.
Right.
Like, as long as you're just aware and open to those things, a lot of the other stuff can be improved. You know how you were saying a lot of the time some of the things that you think are going to happen with your character don't happen, and then other characters or other players put like things on you, like with Ithcal being the newbie. Like, he's just the newbie, or you being the or Leia being the paper pusher and stuff like that. Like, all of those things, they're in-game improv stuff. And with well-run games, a lot of the times you'll have like safety little measures in place. I've seen people who have like little red cards to where if there's subject matter that they're not comfortable like having in the game, they'll just put up a little red card and be like, all right, we're gonna actually like table that conversation. We don't need to get into it because the player is uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, I've even seen people do it for like characters. If the character is uncomfortable on this in game, they would have little like safety rules for their characters as well.
Right.
Just so that everybody can make sure that nobody's, uncomfortable or like not having a good time in the game that they're playing. But also, if you don't want your character to be pigeonholed or rabbit holed into being the butt of certain types of jokes or things like that, you just need to be able to be open and like say it. It could be in gameplay. You could be like, hey, actually above game, can we like just not I don't want to take my character that way, so let's try and figure out a way. Let's actually redo that scene again. I want to throw out something like this instead.
There should be a fine line or a very blatant line between in-game and out-of-game. If your character is upset with another party member, that's always totally cool.
Yeah.
But if a character is doing something that is genuinely making the player upset, you have to realize who's getting upset, the character or the player. If the player's ever upset, you might want to talk about it. If it's just the character, it might just be the character. Like you gotta understand, you can't always just go, hey, don't be mean to me, guys.
Because I have to remember to not hold a grudge against Vince when he does stuff to like Zio, when we would do like long games or whatever and he was DMing. I'd have to like get up out of the chair and like do a lap around the studio and be like, all right, I'm not going to be mad at Vince when I drive home for the rest of the night. I'm not. I'm not. I don't have bad feelings that my character like did this thing and blah blah blah, or like this thing happened to them in game. Even though like Zio's absolutely fuming at Wolfric right now, I can't be mad at Vince. I shouldn't be mad at Vince. I'm mad at Vince. Like, and then I'm just like breaking down all of the reasons in the drive home as to why I'm justifiably right about being mad at Vince.
Yeah, that's that hard line where I was pretty close to crossing that line and complaining for the party that just started where everyone's mad at me and I don't know it because I'm like, look, I'm being singled out. I didn't want to be singled out. I wanted to be kind of like the background character, but now I'm like the focus of everyone. And so like, I didn't want to play that, but at the same time, it's like, this is in story. Everyone is doing exactly what they would do.
Yeah.
Like if I just started talking and was like, hey, I'm God. And I had like a super low voice, everyone would be like, I don't trust this guy. And then I'd come back and everyone would be like, Nick, we need you to leave. Like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. It's like, you would be confused. You would be asking questions. You would. And so it's like, Nick can't get mad, even though Nick's mad. It's like, there is a point where it's like, you got to look, are the characters doing that? Are the characters doing it or are the players doing it?
Right. Well, when I first started playing, because I had never played before, like when I first introduced myself, I wanted to be like very like hardline professional. Like, you call me this and I call you this. We're not friends. But then I did that and the reactions were in game what would make sense. And then I was like, it made me
It made me no.
So it was like, I didn't quite understand at the very beginning. I was like, oh shit, am I being an asshole? Like,
don't take it personally.
No, that's the thing. Yeah,
a ragtag group of like
misfits
cops are going to have issues with anybody who exudes a sense of authority over them.
I think it was like I first was like, you can call me Miss Abernathy. I was like, oh, that was a dick move. I shouldn't have done that.
And we all love that. We're like, oh.
I know. I was like,
yeah.
Holy cow.
All the players were like, yeah, she's dominating. But then like all our characters are like.
Thing I said, because you guys have been playing, and then I come in and I'm just like immediately asshole, and I'm like, shit, I don't even know these people that well.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like Ithcal was like, it wasn't like, oh, I don't like this girl, she's being mean.
Yes, ma'am.
It's oh shit, she's I guess she's in charge. Okay, I'm sorry, and that's why it was
that's
like
super beta energy, Nick.
Well, yeah, no, I already have a woman who dominates me. All right, I don't
There
need
you
to. I
go.
don't need to. I'm just gonna.
He knows that beta role. He's sticking right
Well,
in there.
that's why, like the second episode you joined us when me and Stewie got kicked off of the list.
Oh, right.
The first thing I did was I went and got the JD list. Ithcow didn't give a shit about that, but you mentioned it, and I was like intimidated. I was like, oh,
Like,
okay,
this is
she's in
important
charge.
now.
This is important, yeah. So like when he went, it was like, oh, I got it.
And then everybody was JD.
And then every single motherfucker was JD.
That was my fault. Blame me.
No,
I
it was
love
not
it.
your fault. You named one character JD.
Every
It was
single
the DM's
NPC
discretion
from
to
then
name
on.
every other character JD.
Jared Daniels, Johnny.
When you
Dumpster,
guys started asking for actual fucking
Janice
names and I had to
Dickinson.
start like filling it in, I was like, all right, fuck
You
you
could have
guys.
said there were 2 JDs, and you were
Nope,
like,
there
nah,
were
there's 7 of them.
Like,
Yep.
there's so many.
There were 5 who worked in the police department. And then there were like 4 more outside of the police department that you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm Jeremy Dunn.
You're like, hold on, how many JDs are there? 30. Wait,
I
what? What did you roll? That was 1 die. How'd you get 30? It
How'd
was
you
a
get
D10.
30?
It was a D100. There are 30 JDs.
All right. Well, this was a really great learning experience for me.
Oh, is she calling it? She's
I'm
calling
calling
it.
We
Wow.
gotta go get our HelloFresh. Is that my parents' house?
Go with God. Vaya con Dios.
Okay. Well, this was great learning experience for me. Thank you so much for including me.
Yeah.
This ended up being a great session anyway.
I love this.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
This was
Good
so fun. I
role-playing
feel like I learned so much
Anytime a
today.
game is going to be canceled, we should just sit around and talk mechanics and just game building and character creation and
Have
just
a-
all the
building.
things.
Have an actual topic.
Yeah.
I want to talk about what do you think makes better campaigns? Revolving the campaign and the world around the characters, or revolving the characters around the campaign?
Ooh, tune
As a
in
D-
next time.
As a DM,
Tune in
we
next
can
time.
write the campaign
when we
first.
have another cancellation. That'll
See,
be our
for me
topic.
personally, I like my favorite part is world building
we'll
and
talk
creating
about it now.
depth. You know,
Yeah, see, a lot of people like that. Okay, well, next time.
We can't dive in, guys. Don't do it.
Somebody doesn't want to hang out with us anymore.
yeah. Somebody says they gotta go get food and cook for me.
Oh yeah, you're poor.
Wait, never mind.
He gets his dinner cooked for him.
And I get milk from the source.
Oh my god.
Wow. And on that note,
All right, guys. You know how it
Remember-
is.
Oh no, we're in the wrong order.
Play a game.
She's muted. She's muted. You can't hear her. She's muted. You can't.
unmute yourself on your
You can't
computer.
go full screen if she's muted. Start it over. Start it over.
Because you put me full screen.
Okay.
Okay.
You unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
Okay.
go.
There we go. Start over. Go back. Go
Start
back.
over. Start over.
All
Start
right.
over.
You gotta go first because I gotta remove myself
Play
first.
games.
Eat some ass.
Oh, eat more ass.
And be kind, guys. We'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye. He's just gonna leave it on me. I know his game plan. All right, so I've been practicing beatbox.